The following is a presentation of Grayson Publishing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is football time in Texas.
On the Howe Enterprise Sports webcast from HoweEnterprise.com. This is Howe Bulldogs Football. Howe Bulldogs Football, brought to you by Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Bucksnort Barbecue, Howe Athletic Booster Club, Techway, and Meacham State Farm.
Kissing goodbye, it is touchdown time in Texas.
Also brought to you by Knight Furniture, Independent Financial, Michelle Castle Guild Mortgage, Star Auto Body, Juan Enciso, Farmers Insurance.
Jalen Thornton looking for another seam. Spins out of another tackle. He is electric.
Also brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, Hit Exteriors LLC, Polio's Pizza Cafe, GCEC, Goodfellas Barbershop, Rapid Electric, Legend Bank, Core Fits Gym, Pradera Mobile Home Community, Ann's Realty Group, Don's Smokehouse, Quick Check Convenience Stores, Texas Bred Lifestyle, Family Attorney Kimberly Killebrew, Grayson Garage Door.
It's a Haley's Comet for the first time in his career.
Now let's open the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party and join the voice of the Howe Bulldogs, Bonnie Walker.
We remember. This day, September 11th, will always be in our hearts for those that were lost in the gruesome attack. Nearly 20 years, we still remember. Life has to move on, and it has. We find strength from faith, family, and football. As we welcome back the alumni for homecoming, it's time to head to a comfort zone, home. And home is Bulldog Stadium. The Sanger Indians will invade the home territory tonight, bringing their undefeated 2-0 record and their new head coach. But Howe will try to flip the switch on the victory light for the first time this season for all of the alumni to see. It's Sanger at the Dog Pound, and it's football time in Texas. Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
Hello, Howe Bulldogs. This is Coach Joey McQueen, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Vic and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask that you back the Dogs and become a member today. Go visit the Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Have a great year, Bulldogs.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local Farmers Insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's Senior Spotlight is brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm. Now let's join Monty Walker with this week's seniors.
We're joined this week on the Senior Spotlight by Jackson Atkins and Braden Wise. Jackson, we'll start with you. What year did you move to Howe?
I moved to Howe right before my preschool year. I've gone to school here all my life.
Where'd you move from?
We moved from Little Elm, down by Carrollton.
So your dad used to play football. What do you know about his playing career?
Yes, sir. He was a running back for the Beaver Dusters up in the middle of nowhere in Panhandle, Oklahoma.
Now, you lost your mom a couple of years ago. That must have been devastating for you.
Yes, sir. It was real hard, but the team and Coach Jay really helped me out get through that, and everybody in the community.
So are there any other moms, so to speak, in the community that have tried to play that role for you?
Yes, sir, definitely. There have been a bunch of moms all through the community helping me out and getting me through stuff.
So let's talk about the one-act play. You've been very successful in that. Talk about that.
Yes, sir. I really enjoy doing it, and it's shocking the similarities with football, having to rehearse and go through it over and over and over again to learn what you're doing, and about as intense during the performances, too.
Last week, that performance didn't go that well at Bell's, not like you wanted to anyway. How do you overcome that and turn that around?
Yes, sir. We have a real young team. We started off in Bell's terribly, and that carried through the game. But our offense started finding its footing and picking it up in the last half against Bell's. And this week we're looking to keep that moving, keep getting better and better against Sanger.
Homecoming this week. Do you have a homecoming date?
Yes, sir. Kristen Harris.
So y'all have been dating a while now.
Yes, sir.
Is this getting serious or something?
Maybe.
All right, let's talk about Sanger. Your thoughts there?
Sanger is a really good team. They got some really good guys, but Coach has been working us and teaching us how to stop them. And if we can shut down their run game inside, we have a real good feeling that we can beat them outside, beat them on the routes, and their quarterback's not going to have anywhere to throw it or run it.
All right, that's Jackson Adkins. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back with Braden Wise.
This is more than a bundle. This is way more than a combo deal. It's your sanctuary, your home field. It's where everything happens. This is your home, your car, your memories. And you want to be sure they're protected with home and auto insurance. As your State Farm agent, I get it. That's why I'm here to help life go right. My name is Ed Meacham, and I'm your Howe State Farm agent. Give me a call at 903-892-3923 or on the web at MrRedInsurance.com.
Welcome back to the Senior Spotlight. I got Braden Wise now. Your dad, Chris Wise, was a Howe graduate. Does he talk about his crazy days back at Howe High?
Yes, sir, he does. He was not the football kind of guy. He was rather the just go out and have fun with friends instead of settle down and play football. But I'm glad I did the opposite and stuck to football.
You also lost your mom a year ago. Such a terrible thing at your young age. How do you get over that, or do you?
Yes, sir. It is hard, but I know that everyone around here has got my back, and I've got theirs too, and they've been there for me and they're continue to be there for me, and I'll continue to be for them. It's a helping hand around here.
So I asked Jackson the same question. Any local moms helping out, stepping up?
Yes, sir. Every mom, they know that if they weren't there to help their kid, it would be tough too, and they want all the other moms to do that, and they're doing what they feel like they need to do and step in and are really helping. Yeah.
There's this thing called the six-pack. What's that about?
The six-pack, since kindergarten, it's me, Braden Wise, Jackson Adkins, Brett Burnett, Gage Streetman, and Luke Jackson, and all the moms, and mine and Jackson Adkins, everyone's mom, they started going out to eat after the first day of school when we were little kids, and we just kind of formed a group. And another player, Jordan Jones, and his mom joined in, and he joined, and I mean there's 7 of us now, but we still call it the six-pack, and we've been going strong ever since.
Now, don't forget about that Jake kid.
Oh, and Jake Fallbacher. I forgot about him.
What else have you been involved with at Howe High School?
I've been involved with baseball, football. I'm a pal here. I go and help the little kids when I can, because I have a class where I can do that and be able to go be a role model for them. But I've played football and baseball mainly here at Howe.
It seems like you've played a lot of positions over the years and a lot of positions this year. Where will you be this week?
This week I'll be at the guard, right guard, and play some middle linebacker this week.
What's your favorite position?
My favorite position is middle linebacker, because you get to go out there and show them who you are, prove yourself.
Homecoming date?
No, sir, I do not have homecoming day, actually.
So do we need to, put some signals out there to some girls?
I mean, you can, sir, yeah?
All right. You are a homecoming king nominee. What are your odds?
I feel like my odds are pretty good. I mean, I'm the best looking one on the court, so I got to win it, right?
What are Jackson Adkins' odds? I forgot to ask him.
Well, I feel like he's got pretty good odds too, but it's not as good as mine.
All right, Sanger, let's talk about them for a little bit. What do you think about Sanger?
I feel like they're actually a really good team, and we're not going to take them for light, like they're not someone we shouldn't be scared of. We need to go out there and show them that we are the better team and we'll work harder than them.
All right, that's the Senior Spotlight with Jackson Adkins and Braden Wise.
Today's Senior Spotlight is brought to you by Ed Meacham State Farm. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company, NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dick & Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's District 5 3A Division I Roundup is brought to you by Grayson Garage Door. Now let's join the blizzard. Blake Burnett with the District 5 3A Division I Roundup.
Welcome to the District Roundup Week 3, the last week of pre-district games for everyone. Everyone will be on bye week next week. Bonham took it on the chin last week with a 54-24 loss to Van Alstyne, making Bonham 1-1 on the season. Bonham will have a bye week this week with Leonard still not playing due to COVID. Emory Reigns won a lopsided game against Edgewood Friday night, moving them to 2-0 on the season. Will host Grand Saline tonight. Mineola won by 31 on Friday night, moving them to 2-0, and they look like a solid team here in the early going, beating 2 4A schools so far. Tonight they will host West Rusk. Mount Vernon looks as explosive as ever on the offensive side of the ball, but that should be expected with Art Browse running the team. They will be facing off with Paul Pruitt this week. This will be Paul Pruitt's first game of the season due to COVID. Pottsboro did what Pottsboro does, and that's win on Friday nights. They came up with a huge victory over 289 rival Gunner, 34-21, and will face off with Melissa this week. Cardinals versus Cardinals there. The Howe Bulldogs had a rough night stopping the run last week, losing to Bells 47-24. Will face off with Sanger here tonight and looks to pick up number 1 on the season. Commerce didn't play last week because of Leonard having COVID. This week they traveled to Lone Oak. Winsboro obliterated Hooks 42-0 last week and looks to stay hot this week against Hugh Springs.
Today's District 5 3A Division I Roundup is brought to you by Grayson Garage Door. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated.
For Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir.
Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa, those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
Welcome to the Buffalo Wild Wings Coach's Corner. Now let's join Monty Walker with Howe Bulldogs head coach Bill Jalen.
All right, Coach, lost to Bells last week. No shame in that. They're going to be playing well on past Thanksgiving, you would imagine. But you played well in the second half. I think you've got to be impressed with the way your kids responded.
Absolutely. I tip my hat to Coach West. He has a great team this year, and they will go 2 or 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. But I was really proud of our kids in the second half. It was kind of a wake-up call for us, saying that, they came out in the second half. They knew they could play. They eliminated a lot of the mistakes they made in the first half. And, the thing that really got me in the second half was, we started out playing the second half against their 2s. But then as the game went on in the third and fourth quarter, the 1s had to come back on the field. And our kids had success against their 1s, and they didn't even realize it until film on Saturday. We're like, guys, do you realize you just stopped them twice, and that's their 1s on the field? Did you realize you just scored another touchdown with their 1s on the field? So it was kind of a wake-up call for our kids that they kind of clicked in their head saying, hey, we can play with teams when we do it right and we execute effectively. So really proud of our kids for their effort in the second half.
Well, one of those kids was Ethan Lopez. He came in at quarterback to replace Austin Haley in the second half, and I think you got to be happy with what you found out there.
Yeah, Ethan did a great job coming into the game on Friday night. Thankfully, Austin did not have a concussion. We took the precautions of making sure he didn't go back in with that hit he took in the second quarter. But Ethan, tip my hat to Ethan. Proud of him as can be. He led the team in the second half, and when he came in, he showed us that he could do some things and kind of answered some questions that we knew if we ever got in a situation that now we know Ethan can get us through a ball game. And very proud of Ethan. Threw a touchdown pass. I think he scored a touchdown running and I think 2 running. So he did an outstanding job. Very proud of Ethan Lopez.
Well, once again, lightning, rain all week long, in the Ox Gym, practicing the rain. You getting tired of that yet?
Yeah, I am starting to get tired of it. Because it seems like I said the other day to somebody, I said, I wish we could just go 1 week without having to practice in the gym. And, Tuesday we got pushed into the gym because lightning was striking all over the place. Yesterday it was pouring down rain, but I refused to go into the gym yesterday. We stayed on that field and got soaked and wet to get as much practice as we could. Because it's hard. I mean, when you're preparing for a team like we're playing this week in Sanger, who's a spread team, going 2x2, 3x1, and throwing it across the field, it's hard to get an effective practice in the gym to do it because you can always walk through things, but the kids need to see it going full speed. So, yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm getting tired of having to go into a gym.
We're going to take a 30-second timeout on the Buffalo Wild Wings Coach's Corner.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeout is limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit one offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
All right, Coach, when you were scheduling, maybe a little situation with Sanger. They were, didn't have a great season last year. I'm not sure how that turned out, but I don't think they're the team that what they looked like on paper a year ago.
Yeah, Coach Smart is going into a second year at Sanger, and they had a tough year last year, but they also were in a very tough district. They were in a district with Argyle, Salina, Melissa, Anna and them, so they were in a tough district. But this year they are a good football team. This year they've got a year of experience under their belt. They're a big football team. I think he's carrying about 50 to 52 on his varsity, and they're not small either by any means. Right. But no, Coach Smart's doing a good job over there. He really has. He's got them rolling, and you'll see Sanger in the playoffs here with their district this year. They'll probably be a playoff team.
Do you finally have a healthy group of kids?
No, we do not. Matthew Bearden will be out this week. Jalen Thornton is questionable. Brantley Flynn is questionable. Kayla McNutt will suit up, but he's going to be limited in his action. Will Fleming is out this week. Johnny Meneses is out this week. So several of our players are out with injuries. And some of these injuries aren't, all football related. They're injuries that these kids had prior to the season that they're just nagging. But we're not 100% healthy, but we're moving in that direction. But again, it's the mentality: next man up, next man plays, and we just got to get the job done.
Down to the skinny 20.
Yeah, we're down to the low 20s, bringing up 2 kids from the JV this week to help us. But it is what it is, and it's just part of the game in a small school football. So,
homecoming this week. There are a lot of distractions. Typically, does that change with COVID?
It hasn't been as bad this year as with the homecoming, with the Spirit Week. It's still good. Our student council is doing a great job getting it going. We are having a homecoming pep rally tomorrow. Excited for Coach Simmons. He always can come in and get them fired up, but it's going to be a different pep rally with all the social distancing and everything else. But not as many distractions, but it's still a distraction, for the kids. But I'm proud of our kids. They've stayed focused this week. They've adjusted to the weather, going into the gym, practicing in the rain. Yes, I mean, you and I both played. Anytime you practice in the rain, that's a fun practice. So kids have adjusted well to it, and we got to come out Friday. And like I say every week, we just got to keep getting better and better and better and grow as a team.
Singer's a big team, big kids, big roster. What is it going to take to get in the win column?
From an offensive standpoint, we just got to keep the ball moving consistently. Last week we started to execute in the first half some good drives, and then we would stall out. So we got to continue those drives when we get started in the first half. Really, it's coming out, and it comes into play that our kids are still getting used to Friday nights. Is that we got to start fast. I feel like in the first half we're starting slow, and then we kind of pick up the pace a little bit. But we got to come out and start fast on the offensive side of the ball, have consistent drives, be able to do what we do best, which is we got to get the ball on the perimeter. We got to get our passing game going, establish our pass pro blocking, which we made some changes this week to help with that, hopefully, as we always say. But, anything you draw on the board always looks good. But we got to get it going effectively. You're going to see us do more things to the perimeter, more screen game, stuff like that, quick passes to get it out quick. But offensively, sustaining the drives is my big thing from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, we got to stop number 5. He is a big running back at 6'3", 200 and something pounds. I think he's listed at 225. He's a tree. So tackling is going to be big. You can't tackle him up high. You're going to have to tackle him low. So we got to contain him. And then 8 and 88 are 2 of their best receivers, and they like to go a lot of 3-by-1, 2-by-2. So we got to make sure we're taking care of secondary in the passing game. This is a good game for us moving into district with the teams we're going to play in district to really work on our secondary play.
Home game. That's got to be exciting. Finally get it home.
Yes, finally being at home. Excited to be at Bulldog Stadium. Rain is going to play a factor. The field will be wet. We'll probably won't dry out till tomorrow. But is excited to finally get home and play at home.
Today's Coach's Corner has been brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeout is limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit one offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
This is Coach Jim Fryer, former Bulldog head coach and athletic director. Connie and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 80s. They supported all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and to become a member today.
This is Coach Jay. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's Opposite Corner is brought to you by Texas Bread Lifestyle. Now let's join Monty Walker in the Opposite Corner.
I'm here with Coach Rocky Smart, Sanger. You've got a lot of experience as a head coach, 92-50 record overall, 11 playoff wins. When the job came open here at Sanger and they were 0-10, what made you apply for the job? What made you think this was the right place for you?
I really felt like it was a diamond in the rough, that a place that you'd come in and build a program for a long time. And my daughter had moved to the area recently, and I had my eye open for a quality place to apply for if it happened. And so things just fell into place, and I was able to get the job.
What have you found out about the kids in the town here of Sanger?
The community is extremely supportive, just second to none. The kids work hard. We ask a lot of them, and they've responded. Although things didn't go our way last year, and they never wavered. They came every day, worked hard, and just prepared extremely well.
Now your son is a junior quarterback, Ryan Smart. How fun is it to get to work with him day in, day out?
It's really special because you grow up doing Little League baseball, basketball, and flag football, and now it's varsity, and so it's just awesome to be out there with him, at practice, and just he's probably a better coach than any of us. He just really knows our offense, and he's a smart kid, and he does a great job of being a leader for us.
You spent some time as an assistant at Highland Park under Randy Allen. What was that like?
The experience with Coach Allen was priceless. Learning how to game plan, how to attack a defense, and just how to look, for the matchups and the different things of what you want to execute on offense. He's a great program builder, but a master play caller, and I learned so much from him.
And who would be the most influential, I guess, in the coaching ranks for you?
My college coach, Jimmy Keeling at Hart and Simmons. There's not a better coach in the world. The guys who played for him, everybody will say the same thing. Great man. We knew we played hard for him. We knew he loved us, and we would do anything for him.
As a head coach, what's the most important thing that every successful team must have?
Unity, and that comes from, whether it's the best player on the team or, a guy that's not the best player on the team. They have to all know that they're loved and they feel important, and, that we're going to do everything for them, and we're going to trust them, and, that they trust us. And that's a big deal. Unity's a secret to successful teams.
The Opposite Corner is brought to you by Texas Bred Lifestyle. Show that you are Bulldog bred with one of our Howe Bulldog Bred custom hats. Visit Texas Bred Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmer's insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company, NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party. Today's Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor is brought to you by Quick Check Convenience Stores. Now let's join Monty Walker with the Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor.
Howe is 5-4 on games played on September the 11th. The first game took place in 1958, and it was the first game for Howe since a 10-year absence from football. Howe dominated that night in the 8-man format by drubbing Sadler 32-0. The Bulldogs received scores from Travis Arterberry, Charles Sproul, and Ronnie Bearden. Howe also won September the 11th games in 1970 with a 22 win over Anna, in 1982 with a 28-7 win over Royce City, 1987 with a 21-6 win at Van Alstyne, and 2015 with a 40-14 win at Lindsay. The Howe and Sanger matchup dates back to 1942 when the two teams tied in the bi-district championship game played in Whitesburg. Howe's Robert Miller dove for the end zone in the final seconds of the game but was ruled down at the goal line, which left the game in a tie, 12-12. Howe was self-coached that season and finished as district champions. The Bulldogs own a 4-3-2 overall record against the Indians, and this will be the 10th overall matchup. Howe has a 2-game winning streak, but that dates back to nearly 40 years ago, as Howe hasn't played Sanger since 1981. Sanger hasn't played at Howe since 1980. Howe's 3 losses to Sanger came in 1973, 1974, and 1975. The last matchup in 1981 saw Howe win 8-7 at Sanger, with second-year head coach Buck Smith making a gutsy call that had quarterback Scott Taylor sprint towards the sidelines and throw to flanker Mark Woodbridge for a 2-point conversion in the third quarter, which eventually became the game-winning points. The touchdown was scored by Archie Sutton, who recovered a blocked punt in the Sanger end zone. This week's Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor is brought to you by Quick Check Convenience Stores, moving small towns forward. Family owned and operated in North Texas since 1977.
You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dicken Broker, for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
On the Howe Enterprise Sports webcast from HoweEnterprise.com, this is Howe Bulldogs football. Today's scene setter is brought to you by Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, proud partner of Bulldogs Athletics.
Homecoming brings back everything that's nostalgic about the black and white. The black jerseys, the black pants, the black helmets. It cuts through generations of Bulldog pride just as much as the fight song and the victory light. It's opening night at the Dog Pound, the 84-year-old eldest lady among all stadiums in North Texas. Through the years, this stadium has seen Billy Bryant Cloud touchdown, Rick Hanning aerials, Randy Gears veer, Stephen Ogle and the Smurf twins, Skipworth to Hawthorne, Fountain to Torres, Grisham, and Matthews. Tonight, a new set of names look to mark their territory on the legendary field next to the train tracks. Calling all dogs, from AJ, CD, Elo, and JoJo.
Elo from the 5-yard line, and he punches it in. It's touchdown time in Texas.
Tonight, Sanger comes to town with their new head coach and newfound success on the field. But the Dogs want to turn the Dog Pound into the bomb factory.
Ryan Huff in stride at the 50, cuts near side in the middle of the field. A lot of speed to the 10, to the 5, kissing goodbye. Ryan Huff, do what Ryan Huff do, and that's long touchdown.
It's football time in Texas. It's time to crown a king and queen. It's the Howe Bulldogs and the Sanger Indians. Here we go, live from the Dog Pound for the first time in 2020. This is Bulldogs football.
Today's scene setter is brought to you by Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, proud partner of Bulldogs Athletics. You're listening to the Polio's Pizza Tailgate Party on the Howe Enterprise Sports webcast from HoweEnterprise.com. This is Howe Bulldogs football. Football time in Texas is just moments away. Now, with the call of the game, here's the voice of the Bulldogs, Monty Walker.
The crowd that you hear is the applause for the homecoming king, Jordan Jones. And also, the queen, it appears, is going to be Erin Ketching. Is she getting the crown? She is getting the crown. Jordan Jones and Erin Ketching are your homecoming king and queen here at 2020 COVID homecoming. You'll never forget about this one, right?
Well, I think 2020 will be one we all remember, but congratulations to those two on the winning the homecoming king and queen.
By the way, there's a football game tonight.
There is.
And Sanger has come to town. It's going to be a good one. They are led by Talon Wellborn. Today he was named Mr. Texas Football by Dave Campbell's. And he is a big cat, 6'3", 245-pound senior. He will run the ball and run it well tonight because that's what he does every week. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. He's a big kid. He runs about a 4.8, 4.9, which is not blazing speed, but he doesn't have to because, did I mention, he's 245 pounds and 6'3".
Well, Coach Jay talked about on the coaches show, you're going to have to tackle him low. You don't go at him high. He is going to be a load to bring down tonight.
Let's go over the starting lineups for the Howe Bulldogs. Your hit exterior starting offense for Howe. Up front will be Brantley Flynn. The left guard, Caleb Hicks, but you'll see a lot of Raul Hernandez tonight. Jackson Atkins will get the start at center, and your right guard is Braden Wise. The right tackle is Seth Key this week. And we'll see. There's been some changes during the week because we thought that Landon Duty was going to start at the X. Don't know if that's still the case. Ryan Huff has a mild concussion-like symptoms, we'll say, and he's unable to play tonight. So instead of him starting at tight end, I would imagine that might be Colby Taylor, who has 2 catches for 28 yards on the season. All of that came at Callisburg. The wing tonight, Ethan Lopez. He'll go from his backup quarterback position back to his wing position. The fullback, Carson Daniels, he's a sophomore, 12 carries for 59 yards so far in the season, and the halfback, scheduled to be the halfback, was Matt Hayes, a sophomore. He's got 18 carries for 49 yards, but we didn't think we would see Jalen Thornton, but it appears we may see Jalen Thornton a little bit. He's suited up and dressed today. So he had a shoulder injury, but he got his parents wrote a letter and said, hey, we want him to play, and he's going to be okay. So we think we'll see Jalen Thornton a little bit tonight.
Well, you need all the horses you can get here against Sanger tonight. You need all the weapons. Let's go with the Sanger defense. On the defensive line, they run have a 3-4 defense. On defensive line, defensive end Jackson Olson. At the nose tackle, Victor Macias. At the other defensive end, Jairese Jones. Outside linebackers are Zach Carter and Avery Walker. Inside linebackers are Carson Stamper and Creed Carter. What a name.
That is a great name, isn't it?
Yeah, for Creed Carter.
Carter.
Just right for the position. In the secondary at cornerbacks, Kyle Watts and Stephen Bush. At free safety, Dewey Terrault. Hope I'm saying that right. And then strong safety, Zach Shepard.
Your hit exterior starting defense for Howe. Up front, Luke Jackson, Jaron Grisham, and Dakota Harrington. Some JVers got called up this week, and one being Andrew Bertrand. He'll back up Harrington on the defensive line. And also Wesley Inge, and he will be a cornerback tonight. The linebackers are Cooper Jones, Carson Daniels, Jackson Adkins, and Bryce Crosby. The secondary for Howe, Caleb Warmond, Austin Haley will get the start in the secondary, which you kind of cross your fingers and hope that goes okay. He's a great athlete. He will play it fine. You just worry about the injury situation. And then we understand Wesley Inge will get the start at cornerback. Go ahead.
All right. Let's start the offensive line. At left tackle, Nathan Hunt. Left guard, Jairese Jones. At center is Victor Macias. Right guard, Morgan Boland. And at right tackle, Chase Vaughn. Wide receivers at the Z and X spot, Dewey Terrault at the Z spot. And over at the other wide receiver, Ben Turbo. The running back, again, we'll say his name a lot tonight, 6'3", 245 pounds. Mr. Texas High School Football Player of the Week last week, Talon Wellborn at halfback. At the slot, Zach Shepard and Kyle Watts. And then the quarterback, Rylan Smart, who's the coach's son.
Well, let's talk about their offense and Sanger in general. They're 2-0 overall on the season. Let's go over the Don Smokehouse opponent overview, and we'll let you do that, Justin. Talk about Sanger a little bit.
Well, again, it starts with Talon Wellborn. He had, I think I said earlier, 34 carries, 250 yards, 3 touchdowns last week against Lake Worth. They like to throw the ball around. They do kind of have a balanced type of offense. So that'll be something you have to keep an eye on Wellborn, but as soon as you get comfortable with him, Rylan Smart can throw the ball around. And they're going to have a lot of – they're a bigger school, so they've got a lot of depth as well.
That's your Don Smokehouse opponent overview. Don Smokehouse, the best jerky around, never using MSG, gluten, or dextrose, located in downtown Howe and on DonSmokehouse.com. The Howe Bulldogs overview is brought to you by Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe. The Howe Bulldogs are going to have to figure out how many players they're going to end up with because they're starting the game without a lot. Jonathan Meneses is out. Dylan Hughes got a little ill today. He will not play. Ryan Huff suffering a little mild concussion, and he will not play tonight. Kevin Flores is still out. Will Fleming is out. Matthew Bearden is out. So the skinny 20 is what we're down to here with the Howe Bulldogs.
Well, and it seems like after tonight you have a bye week, and that's probably coming at just the right time for the Bulldogs to give them a chance to heal, give them 2 weeks before they...
You mean that's better than a Week 10 bye week that we've had for the past 2 years?
Definitely better. Right before you go up...
that made no sense.
Yeah, right before you go up 75 to number 3 ranked Pottsboro.
Yeah.
So got to gather the troops here in these 2 weeks and nurse your wounds.
Let's talk about, first of all, that was your Howe Bulldogs overview. Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe, specializing in all cuts and styles and straight razor shaves. Experience the old-time feel at Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe. We have a final thought. It's about time for that, and that means Caroline, and that means everybody gets to weigh in their opinion on tonight's football game. And I'll go first. I think that the Bulldogs, if they're able to stay healthy and have enough kids to finish through this game tonight, because that's number one problem is we've mentioned it. There's a lot of kids that are in street clothes tonight, so that doesn't help you, obviously. But I think if Howe's going to if they're going to stay in the game, you're going to have to shut down that run. And now doing that, you may be asking Ryan Smart to pick you apart through the air. But either way, you've got to stop the run first, and Wellborn is going to be a tough challenge when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think you do. You try to stop that interior run there because he's probably going to be trying to run between the tackles. I worry a little bit about depth because of a bigger school like Sanger. They're a 4A Division II. Howe's a small 3A Division I, and we've talked about the injuries that they're having. And you got a Sanger team who's won. They won one game in the last 2 years, and they come in tonight 2-0. So they're playing with a lot of confidence, and a confident football team. You better be ready for them. The way they're playing right now.
The Blizzard. Have you got a Rapid Electric final thought?
I do. I believe, like you said, the Howe Bulldogs have to stop the run tonight and make the quarterback throw the ball for Sanger tonight. I think if Howe forces Sanger to throw the ball, it could be a totally different ball game than what Sanger thinks coming into the game tonight.
For the first time tonight, our Rapid Electric final thought by Caroline.
Yeah, guys, I mean, with the players that are out tonight, I think this may be a challenge, but, hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's your Rapid Electric final thought. Rapid Electric, don't get shocked. Call them at 903-421-8100. Now we're just about ready for the Tech Wave kickoff that's coming up, but we've got a little bit of time before that. And Sanger is displaying their tunnel down on the south end zone on their side of the field, which is the east, so southeast corner. And Howe looks like they're about ready to come through their tunnel. At least they're going near it, so maybe there's still some stretching to do. But Howe will be in all black tonight, black helmets, black pants, black jerseys, and the familiar dogs and script on the helmets this year for the first time since the mid-'80s, and it's a pretty good look in the thick gray stripe down the side. I mean, that's a good look Howe has.
Looks real sharp.
So we haven't seen Sanger come out yet, so we'll give you their details momentarily, but I believe their band is playing their school song right now, and they are positioned on the track. Of course, we're talking about COVID situations, so it's a decent crowd over for Sanger. Not great. I know it's early, but I think the JV crowd of Sanger might have had a bigger pull from last night. Of course, that was at their place, so they didn't have to drive very far. But the band doing a nice job on the track, and then the Howe band will be on the track on the near side.
And now the Howe
and if you know about this stadium, if you're walking to the concession stand, they're on the track over near that area. And now we're ready for the Howe school song, and we'll let you listen to that one. It is homecoming in Howe, Texas. Now the black and white cheerleaders have red shirts on, but hold up. Don't get too crazy. It's not red for black and white Howe Bulldogs. It's red for America. And they have, they're honoring 9/11 with the red and blue shirts. So a nice look for the cheerleaders. And this old crotchety broadcaster can't get upset about that because they're honoring America.
Yeah, showing pride. I like it.
So the Bulldogs are still getting ready in the end zone, still doing some stretching. Let's talk about the head coach for Sanger a little bit. Rocky Smart, you heard him in the pregame show. It's his second year at Sanger. He's 92-50 overall, 20 years of coaching experience. He previously was the head coach at Clyde, at Seymour, and Nazareth, and has 11 playoff wins. He replaces Sanger coach Cole Ford, who resigned in December of last year after 2 seasons at the helm. Ford took over for Chuck Galbraith, who's now the Indians' athletic director. In 2017, he led the team to the playoffs in his first season before struggling to a 0-10 record in 2018. Ford accepted a position on the staff at Class 6A Richardson, talking about Ford there. Smart's daughter, Ashlyn, attends North Texas, and that's really why he wanted to come over here to Sanger. He's trying to find a school that he could, near Denton to where his daughter's going, and thought Sanger was a good choice. And although Sanger was 0-10 when he applied for the job, he thought, hey, I think I can turn this thing around, and it looks like a program that you can build with for many years. And it doesn't hurt that he, at the time, had a freshman quarterback, gunslinger, who's we're going to see tonight how good he is, and that always helps when you get a package like that.
Yeah, he talked about wanting to try to find somewhere and build a program up, and he, as you said, a diamond in the rough, and he's got them going the right directions. Again, 2-0, beating their win total from the last 2 years.
This is Bill Jaling's 7th season as a head coach. He's 14-47, 6-16 here at Howe High School. He's 45 years old, San Antonio, transferred to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he got his first head coaching job in 2013. Went 1-9 there in 2014 at Cushing. Went 4-6, and they were promising. And in 2016, he went to Hampshire Fannett. And in 2017, finished back at Hampshire Fannett before he came here to Howe. Has gone 3-7 in each of his 2 seasons here as the leader of the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs look like they're just about to come through the tunnel as the smoke is displayed. At least the smoke is ready. Are the Bulldogs ready?
What an entrance that'll be here, coming through that smoke here on a homecoming night.
Yeah, the first home game at the Dog Pound in 2020, and it's good to get back here. This is home. It's homecoming, and this is home. I mean, there couldn't be more of a perfect place on this day to just be at home.
And for us broadcasting, we're actually inside a press box this year. Or
this week, yeah.
Last 2 weeks ago, we were on top of one. Last week in Bells, we were in the stand, so it's nice to be back inside a press box.
And we have the AC on. Nice. Here come the Bulldogs. Jordan Jones, your homecoming king, carries the Texas flag. Jalen Thornton leads the team out with the Howe Bulldog Nation flag. Carson Daniels will trail behind everyone, but not not last because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 injured Bulldogs.
Wow.
Well, I take that back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in black jerseys. So Joey Heimel not suited up as well. We didn't have that information, so that means double duty for Austin Haley pretty much all night long. That's not great news if you're a Howe Bulldog fan when your starting quarterback has to go both ways.
Well, the good news is, too, we have Jalen Thornton. You talked about earlier having him in there, so that'll be good to have him in the starting lineup again.
So the Sanger Indians come out of their tunnel, and they look like the Minnesota Vikings. They have purple pants and purple helmets, white jerseys, purple numbers outlined in gold. They are very similar to the Minnesota Vikings. That's exactly what they do.
They really do.
So a beautiful night for football in Howe, Texas. It's not as hot as it's been. Caroline, let's talk a little bit about the weather and conditions out there.
It is absolutely perfect out here. 75 and sunny is what my weather is saying, and it's perfect. I can't wait to. I actually brought my sweatshirt tonight, so I'm really excited.
Sweatshirt?
Oh, I know.
Oh, my. What about the shoes? Did you bring mud shoes?
No, y'all, I brought white tennis shoes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
You're brave.
Senior Jackson.
Not going to be a good night for my shoes.
Yeah. So Jackson Atkins will be the captain for Howe, and he will meet Zach Shepard across the way for
number 8, Zach Shepard.
Sanger. Now Shepard, pretty impressive numbers as well. He's a slot receiver for the Indians. 11 receptions, 191 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns. And Jackson Atkins will make the call there. We'll see what happens. Caroline not in the huddle tonight. And apparently Jackson Atkins will turn around and he will face the concession stand with a back to the south end zone as Sanger either won the
Indians will receive
they will receive, but I don't know whether they won the toss or
either.
not.
And defend the north goal.
Yeah, guys, this crew tonight was not, with social distancing and 6 feet in effect, was not comfortable with me being that close.
Wow, okay.
And we learned Sanger won the toss,
and now we
and they elected to receive, so they will start with the football first tonight.
As
and
the
now we'll have the
high school band leads us in the national anthem.
Here's the pride of Howe. Well, the national anthem was beautiful. The flag is just now being hoisted, but they were having a little trouble getting the flag up there, but now here we go.
Well, better late than ever.
Even on 9/11, it's going all the way to the top, and we have yet to mention that, other than in the pregame show. We remember what a tragic day that was, and I think everyone who was alive and can remember that situation understands the impact and what it's done to this nation, and it's a sad situation, but we move on from that. Mm-hmm. We have faith, family, and football to help us get through these things. So that right there, with the flag being raised to the top, is a good remembrance that we all remember the tragic moments of 9/11.
Absolutely. Hard to believe that was been 19 years ago.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So back deep for Sanger.
Back deep, number 8, Zach Shepard for the Indians to receive the kickoff.
The familiar voice of Leon Thornhill on the PA, also Roger Tidwell. They got some new speakers. They were installing them today, so it may be a little louder. They've been loud anyway, but the old ones had been up there for 6 years and had a little damage, water damage. But here we go. Jordan Jones about to boot this one away. And the first, the official is running out to the middle of the field. Anticlimactic.
I was about to say, I was like, here we are, getting ready to go, and then the official comes out. And
So Luke Shepard, as I can hear Caroline in a conversation she's having, so we'll need to monitor that. We were just about ready, and the drums were going, and it's like, psh, I was waiting for the cymbals to crash because nothing happened. And now the official's out in the middle of the field. Now it looks like we may get ready to go. So, here we go. Jordan Jones about to tee it up for the Tech Wave kickoff to start the first game at Bulldog Stadium. It's a low line drive kick, going to bounce. Takes another big hop, middle of the field, 25, and coming through the right side of the hash. And look out, a lot of speed. A flag is down, and the Sanger Indian could be gone. And on the race is Creed Carter, who scores on the opening kickoff. However, wait a minute, there's a flag on the Sanger side of the field at the 45-yard line.
He fumbled the kickoff there on the return, and I wonder if this is going to be maybe a block in the back, possibly a holding.
Flag on the play at the Indian 45.
But he went right up the seam right as soon as he was able to secure the ball. It's going to be a holding against Sanger, so bring it all back now.
No touchdown.
Well, that was fortuitous because Carter had the seam, and you could see that kind of building up. He was right on the near hash. And once he finally corralled it, he had clear lane. So apparently the ball will rest at the 45. Nope, they're going to mark it off from the spot foul. So it'll be started at the 35-yard line for Sanger to begin the game.
35, spotted first and 10.
Good Bulldogs dodge a bullet there, and Sanger has pretty decent field position here to start this drive.
So here come the Indians with their all-Texas running back, named today by Dave Campbell's Mr. Wellborn, Talon Wellborn. And he'll stand to the right side of Ryan Smart, the quarterback, who's in shotgun formation. He drops back, throws a swing pass out, caught by Shepard near side. Looking for a lane, has a little bit of lane, has 10, has not, has more than that. Look out to the 20. And finally brought down deep in Howe territory at the 30-yard line. One play, and it was a big one, about 35 yards.
Well, everybody was probably expecting Wellborn, and they go with the quick screen over there to Shepard. Shepard got some good blocks from the hog mollies up front and cleared a path, and they're going to go fast here.
Ing on the tackle, getting his first start on varsity. And here's a swing pass out to Wellborn, and he's brought down immediately. A great job by Austin Haley, who comes up from his safety position, and it's second down and 10. Nice job there.
Good job there by Haley. We talked about needing to hit him low, hit Wellborn low, try to tackle him high, and he may shed a tackle. Good job by Haley to come in there and take him down on his knees.
And they put his helmet right about at his socks, and he just went barreling right over. Second down and 10. Wellborn on the first carry tonight, right up the middle, is going close to a first down. And I believe he's going to have it inside the 20 to the 19. It's going to be close, and now they signal it is a first down.
There's the interior run that we'll probably be seeing a lot. Like I said, he's not the fastest kid. He can't get around the perimeter, but he can go between the tackles.
Smart from the gun, drops back 5 steps, looks down the middle of the field, throws. It's going to be incomplete. Haley in coverage, trying to find his receiver, Kyle Watts, but it was just a little bit over his head, and it falls incomplete. Haley with great coverage there.
Yeah, and Smart had a lot of time to throw back there. They only rushed 3 that time, so he had a chance to kind of let his routes kind of materialize and just overshot his target.
10:32 on the clock here at Bulldog Stadium. We're just underway in the first quarter. And this is going to be a handoff to Wellborn first. Left tackle fights to the middle of the field. He's going to be good for maybe about 5 on that first down or second down carry. And it'll set up a 3rd and 5 with 10:20 on the clock, and it's rolling. Ball's at the 15. Go ahead.
Good job by the Bulldogs there to clog up the middle. And here they go fast again.
And this is going to be Smart keeping it around the edge. And the quarterback has enough for a first down. I believe he got past the marker, but the officials may not think so. They're going to spot him just a little bit short at about the 10-yard line.
Got the quarterback keeper and just kept himself, went around that left side. And they're trying to go quickly. There's probably the Wellborn right here.
4th down and 1. Obviously, they're going for it. Smart's going to keep it. Now he wants to option it. No, he's in trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and he may be down. A great play by Cooper Jones. It depends on the spot. Cooper Jones with an outstanding play around the edge.
Great defensive play, number 24.
And we'll see where that one is spotted, and I think it is turned away. Put a star by Cooper Jones' name right there as he made an outstanding play.
Went around the left side of the field, kind of the short side of the field. Could be possibly an option, and Jones stayed right there in his lane, and Smart held on to it, and Jones did a good job there. A shoestring tackle, took him down at his feet, right, just very, very short of the first down. But, yeah, put a star by that, mark that down there of defensive stand on the first drive of the game for the Bulldogs.
Howe will take over at their own 10-yard line. So this is not a beautiful situation for Howe as they start deep in their own territory, but it's better than giving up, 6 or 7 early points. Haley is back in the game after missing the second half last week, and he's going to hand off up the middle, and a big lane for Carson Daniels, and he's good for about 9 yards.
Put a man in motion and then to distract the defense, and then hand it off to Daniels on the draw off the middle, and Daniels with a good healthy run to get the Bulldogs a little bit of breathing room.
Give him another yard, good enough for 10 and a first down. They'll move the sticks to the 20-yard line. 9:34 on the clock here in the first. We're just underway, no score. And Howe's kind of taking their time a little bit. It's Landon Duty who split out to the near side. And Ethan Lopez is in the slot. Now Duty will go from way over from the left side all the way over to the right, and Colby Taylor not really knowing where he's going, but he puts his hand on the ground as a tight end. It's 1st and 10. Turnaround, toss, and this is going to be Matt Hayes on the carry to the 24-yard line, so a pretty good gain of about 4 on first down, and the run game looks pretty good early on. It's 2 plays.
Yeah, got got the ball to 2 running backs there, and Daniels and then Hayes this time. Hayes ran that left side, able to stiff arm and get a couple of yards there.
Up to the 24-yard line. It's 2nd down and about 6, a short 6, closer to 5 actually. Daniels goes in motion, and he gets the catch on the quick toss out to the right side, and he's going to gain maybe enough back to the line of scrimmage rather, and maybe a yard. It's 3rd down and 5.
Great job there by Haley. He saw Avery Walker, the outside linebacker, coming on the blitz, and Haley got rid of it really quick over there in the flats. Just a minimal gain, but good job there by Haley not to take the sack, get it, and recognize the blitz coming from that right side.
3rd down and 5 as Haley will go in the pistol. He has Matt Hayes right behind him. Slot right. And this is going to be a handoff to Hayes. Met at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there. Might have lost a yard. He was hit immediately on the left side. He did lose a yard. So it's going to be 4th down and at least 6, maybe 7 after that.
Kind of a slow developing play, and the outside linebackers there for Sanger. Number 14, Zach Carter, was in on the tackle as well, and they came and collapsed that right side and interior line.
So give him a loss of 2, and it appears Jalen Thornton will come in to punt for Howe.
Jalen Thornton.
It'll be the first time we've seen action from him tonight, as Matt Hayes got the start at tailback.
Zach Shepard back deep for the Indians.
The punt is a wobbly kick, not a long one, but not a bad one. Near, and going to be picked up by Shepard at the 46-yard line of Howe, and he races forward for about 11 yards as they'll spot it deep in Howe territory at the 35. And Sanger has great field position to start their second possession.
Well, thinking of the Bulldog defense here, aside from that big play, that screen pass there to Zach Shepard, they did a pretty good job of kind of containing and minimalizing this offense.
1st down and 10, left to right. Towards the south end zone goes the Sanger Minnesota Vikings. That's exactly what they look like. As Ryan Smart is going to hand off to Welburn up the middle, and he is a load to bring down. And finally, after about 9 yards, he's brought down by Warman.
Warman and Austin Haley.
And apparently also there was Bryce Crosby. So it'll be 2nd down. They'll give him 8. 2nd down and 2. Bad snap, but Smart picks it up. He wants to throw the home run ball deep down the right side. A little contact from Matt Hayes. And the receiver there, which was Kyle Watts, but not enough to draw a flag, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, there may have been a little confusion back there with what route that Hayes was, or
number 6, Kyle
Watts was supposed to run there, but good job by Hayes to be in defense, and maybe a little push there at the end, but who cares?
This is going to be a handoff to Welburn up the middle, and if you want 2 yards, that's the man to give it to. He gets enough for that and a couple of more, as he'll be spotted near the 25-yard line at about the 26. It's good enough to move the sticks.
Well, here's your main back and here's your short yardage back. They needed 2 yards. You go to your bread and butter and go to Welborn, and he does exactly what he's supposed to do, get the first down.
They move it to the 27. Smart wants to throw again. 5-step drop. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Now he wants to throw a dart to the end zone, but it finds no one. It was a laser beam thrown at about the 1-yard line. But it was, it looked like his intended target was Watts, but he was the closest one.
He rolled to his right. He had some room to run there. I don't know why he didn't try to run the ball, but instead try to throw it. Missed his target.
2nd down and 10. This is Welburn coming near side, and he's tripped up a moment, and then he breaks the tackle of Austin Haley and then rolls forward for close to another 1st down on the near side. Finally pushed out of bounds, but I think he's going to have enough for a first. 6:16 on the clock here in the first quarter at Bulldog Stadium, and now they move the sticks. No score so far.
Trying to get Welborn around that perimeter. Bulldogs do a good job of keeping the yards minimal, but enough for the 1st down.
Ball at about the 17-yard line, and this is a quick pass out to Shepard on the far side. He breaks the tackle of Cooper Jones, and is finally brought down by Warman, but it's about an 8-yard gain.
Caleb Warman, number 7.
Cooper Jones, I'll give him credit. He jumped there and tried to make the tackle. He just got him up a little bit too high and not able to bring down Shepard. Shepard will break the tackle and again get another 1st down. They're starting to get to a little bit of a rhythm here, Sanger is.
Ball's on about the 15, so another about the 5 rather, another 1st down. And this is a quick pass over the head of his intended receiver, which is Terralt. And it falls incomplete. Terralt, a big, tall receiver, 6 foot, 170 pounds, but he has 5 catches for 109 yards so far on the season.
So far, they like to go to that left side, those quick passes.
2nd down, and this was intended to be a handoff to Welburn, but whistles before it can get underway, and it's going to be a false start against Sanger. They go quick, don't they?
They really do, and that's a surprise. It's been their first penalty here, as quick as they go, but somebody moved a little early, and that may give the Bulldogs a chance to just kind of breathe a little bit because Sanger was really starting to kind of get in a rhythm and move the ball. Good chance for the Bulldogs just to kind of take their breath for just a little bit.
Appears like the ball's going to be spotted at the 11-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and goal for Sanger from the 11. Man in motion is Shepard. And on the jet sweep, he gets it from far side to near. He cuts at the 5. He meets a couple of Bulldogs, and he's down right there at the 5.
Shepard, the ball carrier.
Maybe the 6. They'll give him the 6. It's Austin Haley again on the tackle.
Haley's doing a good job there about the safety position. He read the ball the whole way, saw the jet sweep, met him at the point of contact there and able to stop him at the line of scrimmage.
9th play of the drive. It's 3rd down and goal for Sanger. No score yet. 5:11 on the clock here in the first. It's rolling. And Ryan Smart barks and changes the signal. And a shotgun, he's going to hand off to Welburn right side, and he is pushing his way through. And is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Sanger for the first time tonight. Welburn gets on the board after being named Mr. Touchdown, Mr. Texas Touchdown from Dave Campbell's today. So it's 6-0 Sanger with 4:53 remaining in the first.
Bulldogs tried to blitz there, thinking maybe they would try to pass, and they just gave him with the draw, and he ran past everybody and into the end zone for the touchdown.
So we'll see. It's Luke Shepard to hold. And apparently
Shepard to hold, number 18. Xavier
the kick is
Ortega.
good. It's Xavier Ortega. Is that right? It is good, right?
It is good,
Okay,
yes.
7-0 Sanger in the. It's hard to see. The one bad thing about this press box or being indoors is you have to really look to be able to see the scoreboard.
Really squint your eyes.
That's our problem, not yours. 7-0. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
Hello, Howe Bulldogs. This is Coach Joey McQueen, Farmer Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Vic and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same today as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletes, girls and boys, middle school and high school. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask that you back the Dogs and become a member today. Go visit the Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Have a great year, Bulldogs.
Your hidden exterior scoring drive recap for Singer, 9 plays, 40 yards, and it was capped off by a 6-yard touchdown by Welburn. And now after the Ortega PAT, it's 7-0, and we have 4:53 on the clock. Your Tech Wave kickoff is in the air, going to be taken by the freshman Cooper Jones from the 15-yard line to the middle of the field, and is going to be knocked down at the 29. So a nice return by the freshman, and Howe will start in decent field position at their own 29.
I was okay with the play calling for the Bulldogs in the last offensive drive. They tried to establish the run and got a couple of good runs out of Daniels and Hayes. I'd like to see again Jalen Thornton get in there and get some touches.
Well, of course, Thornton with the shoulder issue. Don't know the extent, how bad it is, but he has not been on the field just yet. Now he is on the field.
Split out wide.
He will be split near side. And far to the right is Landon Duty. In the slot is Elo. And Jalen goes in motion. This is going to be a handoff to Carson Daniels again over right tackle. It had a lot of room for a moment, but then it slammed shut at about the 33-yard line.
The hole close pretty quickly. Again, they're getting Thornton, putting him in motion. You got to pay attention to him, and then try to use Daniels there to deceive the defense, but only get a couple yards.
A good 3-yard pickup for Daniels on first down. Second down is 7 coming up. 4:12 on the clock, and it's ticking. Haley sends Thornton in motion, and Haley's going to keep it, and he's buried by 3 Indians hard.
Haley sacked for on the play.
That wouldn't look ugly, and Haley is up. Man alive, did he take a lick right there.
He took a hit from the biggest boys on the team on the defensive line there. Try to fake the jet sweep and take quarterback keeper, and the Indians read that all the way. So now you find yourself in familiar territory for the Bulldogs, unfortunately, the last 2 weeks, 3rd and long.
3rd and 9. At least you're not 3rd and past 10, because we've seen that a lot the first 2 weeks. So far, okay for the Bulldogs. And the pistol, Haley wants to throw. It's going to be Landon Duty who makes the catch at the 38-yard line. He had to go down to get it. And they'll spot it at the 38, so pretty nice catch by Duty. Actually, they have to go down and dig that one out.
Yeah, he did a good job there, getting down there in the dirt and picking it up before it hit the ground. And it's 4th down, and I don't see a punt team. Maybe it's going to be a pooch punt. But
well, Thornton's in there, so we'll see. It's 4th down and 2. Howe at their own 38-yard line, and Jalen Thornton's going to come near side. Look out. 2:56 on the clock, first quarter, and already rolling the dice. Here's a handoff to Jalen Thornton, right side. He barrels forward enough for a first down on the jet sweep from left to right. And hello, Jalen Thornton. Been a while.
Welcome back, Jalen Thornton. We needed that. Howe needed that right there. Use the speed. I mean, it feels like we haven't seen that kind of speed there in at least 2 weeks in Scalisburg, and able to dive across the 40-yard line, get that first down.
Duty will come out near side, split wide, with Colby Taylor next to him and Elo in the slot. Here is Haley, and he's going to hand off to Daniels. He surges forward, maybe a couple, to the 43-yard line.
Carson Daniels, number 20, carries for.
Daniels got that draw, and I tell you, that defensive line was right there in the backfield. As soon as he got it, luckily for him, he was able to get a couple of yards and avoid the onslaught from that defensive line.
Now moving right to left towards the concession stand and that north end zone. It's 2nd down and 8. And there's 1:52 on the clock here in the first. Man in motion is Elo. And Haley in the pistol gets it. Quick pass out right side. Elo makes the catch. Turns the corner at midfield, and he's going to be close to a first down. So far, so good for this Howe Bulldog offense.
I think what they're doing here, they're doing a lot of more quick passes. They're not dropping back 3, 4-step, 5-step drops and letting Haley survey the defense. They're doing these quick outs, and good job by Carson Daniels on the backside, able to do some good pass protection.
Well, I tell you what, you've got to throw quickly because most of the guys who have started the season on your line are in street clothes today. 1st and 10, right to left. Daniels in the backfield. And Thornton in the backfield. Elo in motion. Hand off to Jalen Thornton. Left side makes a great cut. Spins forward at the 40. A nice run of about 7 yards to the 40.
I can't tell you how much the Bulldogs miss that electricity you get, that shot in the arm you get from Jalen Thornton, able to go in there and kind of just wiggle and pinball his way up for 5, 6, 7 yards.
And he will dot the I here in the pistol with Daniels standing to the left. Now Thornton goes out of the backfield. Quick pass to Thornton. And he makes the catch, and he's got a first down, makes a cut, spins out of a tackle, still going at the 25-yard line. A nice run by Thornton and picks up a lot of yards there inside Sanger territory at about the 27.
And I think for the first time this season, I feel like Austin Haley is getting comfortable in the pocket. Again, we talked about the quick runs. Again, a little screen or a swing pass out on the right side when he was in motion, and get it out to Thornton, your best athlete on the field, and let him do something in space.
Without question, this is the best Howe has looked all season
Absolutely.
On offense. No question. And Haley goes back in the pistol. Daniels right beside him, and this looks like the jet sweep. They're going to fake the jet to Thornton, and now Haley's in trouble. He ducks out of traffic and rolls around the left end and makes about 2 yards out of nothing. As a couple of weeks ago, that would have been a big sack, but Haley was able to duck a tackle and fall forward for a couple.
That was good footwork by Haley, staying there in the pocket and kind of look around, kind of look at all his receivers, and then able to find a little hole and then dive down right before he was about to get pummeled.
10th play of the drive for Howe. How about that? And give credit where credit's due, going on 4th down at your own 35-yard line.
Blackjack Jailing coming in full force here, 2020, rolling the dice.
2nd down and 8, I formation, and now Daniels moves out of the backfield. And this is going to be a handoff to Thornton. Straight up the middle, he's going to be hit hard finally, but he does gain a couple. Helmets fly off. But I think Thornton is going to be able to gain 2, maybe 3 yards. And I think that's going to be the end of the first quarter, and I think it's a pretty good one for Howe.
I like it so far.
Down 7-0, but hey, 11-play drive is what you're in the middle of right now. We'll be right back right after this.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. We're in the second quarter now in a pretty quick-moving game. Howe flips sides and then will now head towards the south end zone. There used to be a big grain tower over there, but now it's just Howe mini storage. So it's 3rd down, and the ball spotted at about the 23-yard line. This is a toss right side. Thornton dives forward. Not enough for a first down. I believe he's going to be about a yard short.
Number 25.
Trying to get Thornton out there on the perimeter. A good downfield block there, pulling it by Brantley Flynn and Carson Daniels. Carson Daniels has some great blocks so far, pass protection and downfield. And the Bulldogs bringing in some extra linemen here.
4th down and 1 for Howe at the Sanger 17-yard line. And here we go. In the pistol, Haley, he's going to run it around the left edge, and he tries to get the first down, and I think he does. He does have the first down around the left edge. Haley on the carry. You would never think, hey, after last season, you're 4th and 1. Are you going to take Austin Haley and try to push it across with him? Or apparently that's what they do. That's the answer as a sophomore, not a freshman.
Last week, you probably would have been hesitant to do that with the blocking issues up front, but the Bulldog offensive line is doing a great job. They brought in a couple extra offensive linemen on that left side, and he just went behind those big boys and was able to get just enough for the first down. 13th play of the drive for Howe. Haley in the pistol. Thornton back into the game. He and Daniels in the backfield. It's going to be Colby Taylor split out wide to the right. Elo goes in motion. This is going to be a handoff to Carson Daniels up the middle, and he's hit hard. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but was really driven backwards. Yeah, Carson Daniels hit a brick wall at number 76, Morgan Boland. Able to clog up the middle, hit Daniels for no gain.
2nd down and 10 for Howe. 10-19 on the clock. And it's rolling here at Bulldog Stadium. Thornton will stand right behind Haley, who sends Daniels out of the backfield. He wants to throw to him quickly, and he throws it incomplete. The ball could be a lateral, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be 4th down.
It was a quick pass over there. I tell you, at number 88 there, I think that was 88 Terrault coming in from the strong safety, free safety position. He would have lit Daniels up if he would have caught that. Ball was just overshot there to the left of Daniels.
I said 4th down. It's actually 3rd. They were very quick on the flip on the chains over there. So 9:59 on the clock after the incomplete pass, and it's 3rd down and 10. Haley with Daniels in the backfield, and he wants to roll out left, wanting to throw. He's under pressure, flushed out. Now he has to tuck it. Now he's driven backwards for about 4-yard loss. It's 4th down and 14 now, and hopefully Haley's getting up after that.
Yeah, he rolled to his left, looked downfield. There was nobody open in the defensive line. The linebackers were collapsing on Haley quickly, and Haley went down pretty good. He gets up and takes his hat off there and walks back to the sideline, and there's going to be a timeout, looks like, by Howe.
We'll take one, too. We'll be right back right after this.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company. NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle. NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Okay, it's 4th down and 14, and Haley sends Thornton in motion, and a throw across the middle to Colby Taylor, which would have been beautiful, but whistles before it could get underway. It's going to be a false start against Howe. And instead of 4th down and 14, it's going to be 4th down and 19, and that was a pretty looking play. However, Sanger did kind of stop on the whistle, but man alive, that was a quick hitter.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, man, I said, he's wide open there, and then everybody else stopped. So
ball now at the 24. It's 4th down and 19 for Howe. Good news, bad news. Good news is the offense looks pretty good tonight. The bad news is, and you've got 16 plays. That's good news. The bad news is you got to get points out of this.
It was a methodical drive, but it's starting to sputter here. Let's see what happens on this 4th down.
Man in motion is Thornton. He gets the toss. Right side, makes a cut. Can't make another cut. Now spins out of a tackle, and now is brought down at the 22-yard line.
Jalen Thornton, the ball carrier.
And it appears Howe's drive of 17 plays that started at the 49 has ended without points. And that's a great drive, but you'd like to see him capitalize.
That gives you confidence going forward. But, yeah, on that last play, they try to get Thornton, try to get him out wide. and use his athleticism there in open field there on the right side. But the Indians were able to do a good job of containment there and a minimal gain, and ball goes over to the Indians.
So they will take possession at the 23. Is that the 23-yard line? It appears maybe the 22. And there's 9:18 on the clock here in the second. And this is going to be a handoff to the first man through, and he's very quick to the edge, making a first down and more to about the 20-yard line. Is going to be the ball carrier, Stephen
Number 20,
Bush.
Steve Bush on the carry.
And he's a sophomore, 5'9", 160, definitely a change-up back from Welborn.
Yeah, it was almost like the Bulldogs weren't expecting that kind of speed as he kind of went around the right side and started gaining more and more yardage. And they've been so used to Welborn and get a change of pace with Bush.
Ball at the 32-yard line or 37-yard line of Howe. Dropping back, a smart one to throw. Deep ball, wide open, caught it at the 35. Strolling into the end zone is Dewey Terrell. And just like that, 65 yards to answer right back.
Ryan Smart, number 11, the quarterback.
Well, it was a go right downfield, and there was some confusion there between Haley and Hayes. As I see Haley going over to Hayes to tell him it's okay, but there was some confusion right there. I think they got caught on the inside receiver. There were two receivers going downfield, and Terrell was all there by himself there behind the secondary.
Wow, that was quick. 65 yards, and it wasn't a quick pass where Terrell did most of the work. It was a long pass by Smart, and here's the Ortega PAT to add the exclamation point. It's 14-0, and there's 8:41 on the clock here in the second quarter. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group and Dick & Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225. You're listening to Howe Bulldogs football on HoweEnterprise.com. Not a member of FDIC. Not an equal housing lender. Fake license number 867-5309. Howe, Portland, Seattle. Your hit exterior scoring drive recap. 2 plays, 78 yards for Sanger. It was a 65-yard touchdown from Ryan Smart to Dewey Terralt. And it was a bomb. 14-0, Sanger in the lead. 8:41 left to go in the second quarter. Here's your Tech Wave kickoff. It's going to bounce at the 25 and finally be taken on the left side by Thornton. And he's got a lane. And he breaks a tackle, spins out of a tackle up to midfield, and the Bulldogs have great field position at the 50 thanks to Jalen Thornton and his great moves.
I'll tell you what, Jalen Thornton so far, I think, has been the MVP of this game. He's just provided just a different spark for the Bulldogs. That kickoff return, it just laid on the grass there for a few seconds, and Thornton picked it up and found a lane and able to get good field position, 49-yard line. The Bulldog offense, it could move. It showed it can move on the last drive. It just kind of sputtered there when you kind of got close to the red zone. But now you know you can move. You've got the confidence. Now build off that.
So 1st and 10. Howe has it actually at the 49-yard line in Sanger territory. So a yard over, headed towards the south end zone. Daniels is out there, and Matt Hayes is out there, and Thornton on the sidelines. Haley in the pistol, 2 receivers near side, and he shovels it out to Matt Hayes, tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, bounces off a tackle, but he's going to lose a yard back to midfield at the 50.
So he did a good job there by Avery Walker.
No gain on the play.
He did a good job there to kind of bring him back inside, at least slow him down there as they try to get on the outside. And maybe he lost a yard on there. He did lose a yard.
So back to the 50-yard line at midfield. It's starting to get dark here. Now it looks like football.
It does.
There's a little bit of a chill in the air. We'll speak down with Caroline here momentarily. 2nd down and 11 coming up for the Bulldogs. Man in motion is Elo. Bulldogs look good in all black tonight, but there's a false start, and that's going to come back against Howe. Let's check now with our night furniture sideline reporter, Caroline Slauson.
Hey, guys, I got it.
Sorry, the intro,
No, I'm so sorry I interrupted. But, I got a chance to talk to our homecoming queen, Miss Erin Ketching. I said, how do you feel? She said, I feel kind of weird. I really wasn't expecting it. I was surprised. And I said, well, have you told big sister Kendall, who, of course, won a couple years ago? And she said that she has, that she was happy for, and they're keeping it in the family.
How about that? That's pretty awesome. Nice. 2nd down and 15 for Howe as pressure backs off and now whistles. And Haley was going to fire a quick in pass to Landon Duty, but whistles before it could get underway. And now here's that familiar situation of being 2nd down and long.
I'm starting to see a little bit of like we saw at Callisburg a couple of weeks ago, where everybody's kind of getting off the ball just a little too quick, or the ball's getting snapped a little quicker than everybody's ready. The rhythm is not there as it was in the first couple of drives.
Now back to the 40-yard line. So 10 yards back. It
Not
may
10
seem
years.
like 10 years, but 10 yards back from where they were a moment ago. It's 2nd down and 20 now as Haley looks down at his waist to see the play, and a snap. He's going to fake the jet sweep to Thornton. Now he throws a deep ball out to Duty, and it's going to be overthrown by about 2 yards. Great coverage out there, and it falls incomplete. It's 3rd down and 20 coming up.
That's what a lot of that motion work does. It kind of keeps the defense on as they were kind of trying to cover Thornton as he was in motion there on the right side of the flats and able to go long to Duty. Fortunately, it was incomplete, but he had protection. He had time to throw, and that's always a positive for Austin Haley as he's not had that in the first couple of weeks.
Defensive on the last play.
I don't know what's going on with our speaker down there, but it apparently doesn't sound very good. So going to have to make an adjustment. So we'll see what happens there. Here's the pass across the middle, caught by Colby Taylor, and he's brought down at the 45-yard line. Well shy of a first down, but up to the 40, maybe about the 46-yard line. A good 6-yard gain.
Again, welcome back, Colby Taylor there across the middle. We haven't seen much of him since Callisburg when he had a couple of good catches. Again, Haley have time to throw and catch Taylor across the middle, but he had a long ways to go due to those penalties there on the 1st and 2nd down, and it's going to be punt time again for the Bulldogs.
All right, so working on some technical issues from underneath the bleachers. We'll try to get fixed. Here's Thornton on the punt. That's a good punt. Spiraling punt inside the 20 at the 15. Going to be taken at the 13-yard line by Shepard on the right side near their bench, and he just steps out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, and that's where they'll take possession from their own 30.
You missed Jalen Thornton in offense. You also missed him on special teams. That was a good punt. They kind of pinned him a little deeper.
So let me see what I can do with that. We may have to ditch the speakers back there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
retire them for tonight.
May have to. So we're going to do that there, and we're going to go here, and we'll see if that works for our others that are listening. So here's Sanger with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. And this is going to be Welburn back in the game. And he's going to escape one defender and finally brought down. A ball may be on the turf. And Howe is pointing that way. Austin Haley was pointing like Howe had it, but Singer comes back up with it, and they get about a 4-yard gain behind Welburn there.
I tell you what, I feel like we hadn't seen Welburn in several. I mean, the last drive, you didn't see much of him, so it's been a couple of drives since you've seen him, and he tries to get around the right side. He's not very fast and doesn't have a lot of speed to get around that perimeter, but he's able to always fall forward.
2nd down and 6 for Singer as Ryan Smart drops back 5 steps, looks, now flushed out, now is a lot of pressure, throws it, it's almost intercepted by Carson Daniels, but it goes through his hands and falls to the turf. But Daniels had great position from his linebacker as he rolled over and just got in the way. And gosh, I thought he had that one.
Yeah, I tell you what, he was sitting there watching Smart as Smart was rolling around trying to find somebody downfield. He just watched him, as a linebacker should, just use his eyes there and watched Smart with the ball and almost had it. He kind of threw behind him a little bit, fumbled around in the air, and just not able to bring it down.
So Smart will drop back, now sets up a screen, and that's going to be Shepard, and he's got a lot of room, first down and more. He could be gone. He's going to be chased down. Haley tries to cut him. Matt Hayes tries to cut him. He's finally down about the Howe 20-yard line.
Smart pass.
Man alive. That Shepard can really move.
I tell you, you get the quick pass, get it over to him. He's got the speed, and if you got the blocks downfield, the hats to put on, the Bulldog hats, really get him into space, and he shows he can make the big play.
43-yard gain, and here is Smart already, and the ball goes through his hands. He's having a hard time picking it up. Now he does. He sprints toward the sideline. He's going to gain 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, close to a first down. That was a busted play.
I know, a low snap.
Nice run around the right side.
I saw them have a trouble with a couple of snaps during pregame, and he made something that could have been a 3-yard loss into almost a first down, 2nd and 1.
So Sanger can get a first at the 10. They're at the 11. It's 2nd down and 1. Smart in the gun. Welburn to his left. Throwing in the end zone. A fade route up for it. Down with it is Shepard, and it's incomplete.
Smart pass.
I think that's Shepard on the far side.
I could see it was, but.
So it's 3rd down and 1, and here's your, you might as well throw that fade route on 2nd down and 1 because you've got 3rd down and 1, and you've got Welburn in the backfield. And here, what do? They hand it off to Welburn, right side, and he's got the first down and a couple of yards to go with it. Near the 5-yard line, about the 7.
Welburn,
yeah, but try to go inside, bounce it outside. Bulldogs do a good job of tackling him to make the gain only 2 or 3 yards, but it was enough for the first down and be 1st and goal now.
And a man in motion is Shepard, and he's going to get the carry. No, it's going to be Smart. Oh, it's Welburn on the counter. Little misdirection there by Sanger. We haven't seen that tonight. They faked the jet sweep and then gave it to Welburn on the right side. And now it's going to be 2nd and goal as he makes his way to about the 3-yard line. Maybe the 2. About a 5-yard gain there. Here's Smart. Handoff. Welburn. And he bowls over. Almost goes untouched. He just kind of puts his left thigh into a Bulldog and just says, hey, get out of the way. My thigh is bigger than your waist. Let's go. And Sanger.
And the thing is, they move so fast. I mean, they're up tempo. I mean, Welborn got the first down. They got back to the ball and then just gave it right back to him, fed him again. And as you said, he just mowed over a Bulldog defender and into the end zone. And now it's 20-0.
10 carries, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns for Welburn.
Tell me that again.
10 carries, 58 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Welburn so far. Thank
you, Blizzard. Here's Ortega for the PAT. It is up, and it is true. And Sanger extends their lead to 21-0. There's 3:18 here on the clock here at Bulldog Stadium in the second quarter. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Xavier Ortega.
3:18 left to go in the second. And your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 8 plays, 70 yards, 21-0. Sanger in the lead after a 2-yard touchdown by Welburn. And this is Jalen Thornton on the Tech Wave kickoff, trying to find a seam. He does for a little bit, and he's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. A nice return of about 30 yards by Thornton. And Howe will start pretty close to midfield at about the 40.
Well, I kind of like to see the Bulldogs get back to some of that quick passes they had. Maybe if they're going to defend the flats, maybe try some slants across the middle. I would like to see a little bit of that. I mean, the offensive line has done a pretty good job here of protecting Haley when he's dropped back to pass.
So it'll be first down and 10. Howe will start at their own 41 is where they'll officially mark it. And 2:55 on the clock before the Legend Bank halftime show. Thornton goes back into the game as he makes all the difference in the world in this offense. It's not even close. They are a totally different team without Thornton. He goes in motion to the right side, a high snap, and a quick pass out to Thornton. He's met immediately. They've kind of sniffed that play out. As soon as the back goes out of the backfield, they just run right to him because Howe's trying to get the ball quickly to Thornton and Daniels and whoever else runs out of that backfield. And that's going to be a loss back to the 36-yard line. Loss of 5.
That's probably why I'm not an offensive coordinator. I'm up here. They did the quick pass, like I said, and the Indians sniffed that one out. So maybe try something across the middle. The clock is ticking here.
2:23 on the clock. And it's second down and 15. Haley in the pistol, Daniels and Thornton in the backfield. Haley has one to toss, right side. Thornton makes a man miss, makes another man miss, escapes a tackle. Back up to the 41-yard line.
Thornton, number 2.
Thornton did a good job there. That looked kind of, the time looked a little bit off there on that, but got the ball to Thornton, and that was pretty much all Thornton able to dodge defenders and get back to the original line of scrimmage.
He sure does make a 5-yard run look pretty. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
Fumble on the play. It was a snap that went through Haley's hands, and Singer has it at the 35-yard line.
Fumble on the play, recovered by Singer.
I didn't see much of that. It looked like, I don't know if Haley was trying to
56,
hand that off or he was getting ready to throw it, but whatever, as soon as he got it, it was fumbling around, and next thing you know, it was on the ground, and Singer was able to come in there and recover it.
So that's bad news. There's a $1:47 left to go before the half, and how, if you score right there, the game, this is where games change, right here.
And you wanted that to kind of be the last possession of the half, or not give Sanger much time if you didn't score, but now you've given them the ball with 1:47 and ball on the Bulldog side of the field.
Yeah, ball at the 35-yard line, and a timeout's been called. We'll take one, too. Right back right after this.
Timeout on the field.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs. Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
Our night furniture sideline reporter, real quick. What's it like down there?
Guys, even though it's 21-0 on the scoreboard, things down here are a lot better than they've been the past few games.
Oh, I would imagine it. They're playing a little better. Here's Welborn on the right
Welborn
side.
on the carry.
But bounces out of a couple of tackles, and boy, he bounces out of so many tackles. And he'll gain 8 or 9 on first down. And the clock still runs with a $1:33.
And it's looking like it's getting a little bit harder to tackle Welborn. I don't know if he's just just punishing more, or he's getting more energy as the game goes on, but he's getting more and more yardage each time.
8 yards on first down, sets up second down and 2. 1:14 on the clock. Smart in the gun, drops back 3 steps, sets up a screen to Shepard, middle of the field. Chased down by Carson Daniels, but he's not going to be able to catch him. Shepard's too fast, and he scores right there on a 27-yard screen pass from Ryan Smart. And that sends our score to 27-0. Sanger in the lead with 59 seconds remaining before the Legend Bank halftime show.
I'll tell you, a lot of that just could have been avoided. You had that fumble there on that last drive that gave the Indians an extra possession on the Bulldog side of the field and gave them time and gave them field position, and they were able to use the screenplay to score to get their speedsters, their athletes out in open space.
Zach Shepard, 4 catches, 116 and a touchdown now.
There's Ortega's PAT. That one is up and good, and Sanger all of a sudden is up 28-0, and we're near the half. We'll be right back after this timeout.
This is Coach Davey Dubose, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Jody and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletics, girls and boys, middle school and high school. Good luck to all the Howe teams in the coming school year.
This is Coach Jay. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and become a member today. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
The train's here. There's a cricket. And the train is here, but a cricket has showed up too. It must be near halftime because there's the train. The hit exterior scoring drive recap, 2 plays, 35 yards. It was a 27-yard touchdown from Smart to Shepard. And here's the Tech Wave kickoff going to be taken by Warman. And it goes through his lap, and he falls right back on it at about the 27-yard line, and that's where the Bulldogs will set up shop.
Well, 55 seconds left to go. I'd say you just try to run the ball here, run the clock out. I don't know if the Indians would try to use their 3 timeouts to stop the clock and score again.
Well, you want to get momentum, I would think, going into the half.
True.
You know, at your own 27-yard line. I mean, it'd be really nice to score right here.
You don't want to turn the ball over.
No, you don't want to turn the ball over. Taylor split out wide to the right. Duty split out wide to the left. Thornton in the slot. And Haley wants to throw. Down the field, it's going to be caught. Thornton trying to get away, but only a 4-yard gain. If he could have eclipsed that shoestring tackle, he might have had a lot of yards in front of him. It's going to be 5 yards on the play.
Good job there by Haley. Rolled to his left. He looked like he may have twisted his ankle just a little bit. He came up hobbling as he threw that ball. I don't know if anybody hit him or just the way when he followed through, if he kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Clock rolling at 31. Haley in the pistol. Daniels behind him. And a man in motion is Thornton, and Haley's going to be sacked. Back to the 24-yard line, right through the middle of the offensive line. And Haley, he's not been sacked a lot tonight. I think that may be twice. Unlike previous weeks where he was on his back all night. A much better performance by the Howe offense so far, but that one a loss back to the 26-yard line. A timeout's been called. No, that's the end of the first half. And Sanger is up 28-0. We have a halftime show. Wait a minute.
Timeout was called before the clock.
The timeout was called before the clock expired by Howe. So we'll see what's going on here. As we'll leave it here, but it's going to be third down and about 11 for Howe. But I guess they're going to try to set up some kind of a screen with Jalen Thornton, I would imagine.
I would think so, yeah. Try to get it to him, get him to some kind of open space.
Blizzard, what do you got for us?
I would like to see Jordan Jones run a go route and use Jalen as a decoy, but Jordan hasn't played offense all night.
You know, Jordan hasn't been a part of the offense really much so far in 2020. I believe they
are putting him out there right now, though, so maybe I'm right.
There you go. On the season, Jordan Jones has 1 catch for 7 yards, and that's it. That's it.
He had a run seemed like last week, and I think he scored on a 2-point conversion on a jet sweep.
He did on a 2-point conversion, but not in official stats.
Right.
It's third down and 11 here. Man in motion is Thornton, and Haley kind of loses the snap for a moment, but he regains it, but he is sacked again, and that's going to be a loss of about 5, and that is the official end of the first half. Howe looked great in the first quarter and looked pretty good at parts of the second quarter, but boy, there towards the end, Sanger just flexed their muscles a little bit.
I think what Sanger's starting to do defensively, they're starting to kind of figure out Austin Haley and this offense a little bit. So the Bulldogs need to go back in. Coach Murray go in there and make some tweaks, make some audibles and some checks here on getting this offense back on track.
Well, at halftime on the Legend Bank Halftime Show, we have some interviews for you. Our senior athlete of the week is Jake Faubacher, and the Howe Summit Hill Elementary principal, Clarissa Doty, will be interviewed by Caroline Slauson. So sit back, relax. We'll listen to that, and we'll see you on the backside here in just a few minutes. Justin, Bucksnort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is closing in on an all-time record. They have given away 37 free birthday buffets so far this month.
That's where all you have to do is show your proof of age and get a free Bucksnort Barbecue buffet for your birthday. They even include the drink.
Well, from this angle, they'll keep that offer 5 days before or 5 days after your actual birthday.
It's birthday time in Texas.
Oh, geez. Stop saying everything's in Texas.
Well, Bucksnort Barbecue is in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas.
This is Coach Davey Dubose, former Bulldogs head coach and athletic director. Jody and I still love the Dogs and ask that you show your support by joining the Howe Athletic Booster Club. Their mission is the same as it was in the 90s. They support all Howe athletics, girls and boys, middle school and high school. Good luck to all the Howe teams in the coming school year.
This is Coach Jay. It's only $25 to become a member. From the alumni to the current fans and parents, we ask you to back the Dogs and become a member today. Visit Howe Athletic Booster Club on Facebook. Bulldog pride never dies.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Juan Enciso, your local farmers insurance agent here in Howe. We're here to assist you with your insurance needs, including auto, home, life, business needs, and more. We're vested in the community because we are the only insurance agent in Howe. Our office is at 403 West Hanning Street, or we can be reached by calling 972-382-6121. We're also on the web at farmersagent.com/JEnciso. I have the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your insurance coverage options. Call me, Juan Enciso, at 972-382-6121.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa, those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show. Today's Senior Student Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Family Attorney Kimberly Killebrew. Now let's join Monty Walker with the Senior Student Athlete of the Week.
Our Senior Athlete of the Week is Jake Faubacher. Jake, when did you move to Howe?
I moved to Howe in 3rd grade.
Is there a teacher who played a major role with you?
I would definitely say it was Miss Foster. She was like my 3rd grade reading teacher. She was super involved with all the kids then, and I still keep in touch with her now. I think she's always someone I could go to if I needed something.
Cross country. You won your first race last week. How did that feel for you?
It felt good. It took 4 years to finally win, so it was a good feeling to finally finish first. And really get a sense that all the hard work is really starting to pay off.
All this hard work's a lot of miles during the week. How much do you run during a week?
Right now I'm sitting about 40 a week, and that'll get up to about mid-50s right before district.
And we're talking about miles.
Yeah, we're talking about miles.
My goodness. Okay. You're a basketballer also. Are you looking forward to this year?
I'm super excited for this year, for sure.
Talk about Coach Forsyth. What have you seen so far?
He has, with the guys who aren't in football and who play basketball, he's kept us after the bell sometimes and has kind of shown us what some of the plays on offense are going to look like, and we're starting to get into defense. And I think the team this year is going to be like night and day like it's been the past couple of years, and it's really going to come out of nowhere. I don't think anybody's really expecting us to be as good as we're going to be.
What else are you involved with at Howe High School?
I'm also in track and the National Honor Society.
Homecoming King nominee. What are your odds?
I would say just as good as anybody else's, to be honest with you.
Okay, what's this six-pack thing? We heard from Braden Wise in the senior spotlight. He forgot about you. Talk about this six-pack. What is it?
The six-pack was a five-pack before I moved to Howe. It started in kindergarten, and over the years we've added another member, Jordan, so we call ourselves the six-pack plus one. That's Gage Streetman, Jordan Jones, Brett Burnett, Jackson Adkins, Luke Jackson, me.
Okay. Seems like you're missing someone, but we'll move on. Future. What do you see happening in the future for Jake Fahlbacher?
I'm going to run in college. I'm not sure where. I definitely won't figure that out till after track season, but I'm excited for it, for sure.
All right, that's Jake Fahlbacher, cross country and basketball, one of Howe's finest athletes. The Athlete of the Week is brought to you by attorney Kimberly Killebrew. If you have legal needs regarding custody, child support, or divorce, call attorney Kimberly Killebrew at 214-432-1595.
Today's Senior Student Athlete of the Week is brought to you by family attorney Kimberly Killebrew. You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company, NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group and Dick & Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show. Today's Howe ISD Employee Spotlight is brought to you by Wildcat Welding. Now let's join Caroline Slauson with today's Howe ISD Employee Spotlight.
Hey guys, it's Caroline, and I am here with our Howe ISD Spotlight of the Week, Miss Clarissa Doty, the Summit Hill Elementary Principal. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a good day to be here in Howe.
That's right. It's always a good day to be here in Howe. Well, I was thinking before I came and did this last night,
like I've interviewed you and I've interviewed Mr. Kevin Wilson, and you know, you were a teacher when I was here, and he's the principal. It's like, say your first name. I'm like, Clarissa Doty. Like, it's so weird for me to say it, but okay. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on COVID because I know we're all just sick of talking about it. However, I am interested because you get not only kids but parents at a extremely pivotal time in their life, maybe the most pivotal time of their life when they start school. And what has that, I mean, I know you could probably go on for hours, but what has that really been like this year with everything going on? And what do you tell parents that are maybe anxious or nervous, whatever they're doing, whether they're staying home or coming to school? What do you have to say to them?
So I'm going to take a step back. I know that for them, starting this year was probably one of the most difficult things in their life that they had to do, because who wants to drop their 4 or 5-year-old off at a door and walk away? That is not a good feeling. So then you add to the fact that, I might be a little apprehensive that there's this virus out there. So, but so you said, what do we want to tell parents? Well, I would tell them to look at stats, because really when we look at statistics, children, it affects children much less than it does grown-ups.
Right.
I even read something in an article that said kids have their anatomy in their throat and all.
Yeah.
It's designed, or it's not developed so much, and that's what keeps them from catching the virus.
Really?
Now, whether or not that's true, who knows? But
hey,
but it makes me feel
makes
good.
people feel better. Yeah. Well, because the first day of school, I was just thinking, if I had to, that's just not how parents picture their first day, for kids. And that would just break my heart. But
it was heartbreaking.
I bet.
I mean, it really was. And I felt so bad for parents.
But we're making it through. They're in a good place, so that's all that matters. Okay, so this question's kind of next topic, but I've been here at Summit Hill, this, my 3rd time, so I've seen a little bit, but not all of it. But it's such a nice building.
It's a beautiful building.
It really is such a beautiful building. How is it going? I know it is 2nd year, but it's still new, obviously, especially from what you're coming from. How does it feel to be in such a nice new place?
Well, so I will tell you, the carpet still looks great since we were only here for a few months last school year. Okay, so it's still looking really good. But, it's good that these kids get to have this. I think it's something that they can be proud of. And I know they don't get, hey, we're in a brand new school, because it is a brand new school for kids coming in.
Right, yeah.
But, the town supported that. And it was something we needed, and we are using this space, and we love it.
Well, it really is such a beautiful place. But another thing I was thinking about is I remember last year at the beginning of the school when you were worried because the phones weren't working, and
we've come a long way, baby.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
I think all the kinks are out now.
Yeah. So. Just like yourself, I went to school here K through 12th, and then came back here, eventually worked here. I know you have several teachers here that are that way too, and for me, I know it means a lot to me that for me this is home. I mean, I've gone, lived at the place.
I remember when you were a little girl,
and I've come back home, and it means a lot to me. But I'm just wondering what it means to you to be here, where you grew up, where you went to school, and now, you've been here for a while, but what does it mean to you to be a Howe lifer?
Well, so you mentioned that there's a lot of people that are back that work for the district, or that are back in the town that have families here. And I think that says volumes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, we want to do when we, okay, this is where my family is, and I want to instill in my family the importance, the values that can come from this town, from this school. And that's what I find it to be important. And, you have to sit there and you have to model that to people. They have to feel that they're wanted, And that they're cared for and that they're loved.
And that they want to come back.
And then they'll want to come back.
Yeah.
They want to be a lifer then.
A lifer. How lifers? Well, okay, so enough of those long questions. We'll do rapid fire. I'll just ask you this or that, and you just whatever you like. So would you
could be dangerous.
would you rather watch a movie or read a book? Like if it's like the same story, like it's Harry Potter, would you rather read the books or watch the movie?
I'd rather read the book then watch the movie.
Okay. There you go. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Okay. Are you more likely to save your money or spend your money?
I'm a saver.
That's good.
I'm a saver, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say you can't take it with you when you die, so just keep going. All right, Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Okay. When you're sleeping, is the fan on or off?
Dark and quiet.
Not cool, though?
It's got to be cool.
Got to be cold, so
but
probably fan on, unless it's making noise.
It's got to be quiet. Okay.
All right. And this isn't a question, rapid fire. Well, it is kind of rapid fire, but not picking one. You are blessed with 3 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to have a boy, what was his name be?
His name was going to be Evan.
Evan.
Yes.
Oh, Evan Doty. All right.
Well, we just have girls.
Girls. You were just
and
blessed.
girl dogs. Okay.
Y'all have girl dogs too.
She was stray.
Oh.
I mean, my husband, he can't even get a boy to
that's
come
me.
up as a stray.
That's me at my house, only opposite.
Yeah.
I have boy dogs and all boys at home, so
Oh, yeah.
I feel his pain. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Today's Howe ISD Employee Spotlight is brought to you by Wildcat Welding. You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeout is limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit 1 offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
You're listening to the Legend Bank Halftime Show.
Welcome back to Bulldogs Stadium. I am Caroline Slauson here with Blake the Blizzard Burnett. That's a tongue twister. 28-0 is the score here at halftime. Sanger on top of the Bulldogs. Looking at some scores around the area. Commerce traveling in Lone Oak tonight. 25-0 Commerce winning that game with just a minute and a half left in the first half. Van Alstyne at Anna, 28-7. Anna on top of the Panthers in that one, and that is with 3 minutes left to go in the half. Now, Pottsboro and Melissa. Right now, the score I have with a minute 30 left in the half. 30-3. Melissa actually winning. Oh, I was going to say the Cardinals winning again, but, they're both the Cardinals.
Both Cardinals.
Melissa on top of Pottsboro in that game right now, and you're probably thinking, no, you got that wrong. No, that is correct, but as I've been told, the Pottsboro quarterback did not play the first half, so when he comes back,
he will be allowed to come back in the second half, yes, and that should be a whole different ball game there.
Maybe flipped there. Valley View and Bells tonight, 42-0 at halftime. Bells on top of Valley View. Whitewright and Celeste tonight, 13-7. Whitewright winning on the road at half. Clarksville and Tom Bean, 12-6 with 3 minutes left in the first half. Clarksville on top of Tom Bean, 12-6, and Grand Saline on the road tonight in Rains, 49-6 with 2 minutes left in the first half. Rains on top of the Indians in that one. Now, last night, I believe, it says Bonham played Leonard.
That game did not happen.
So that game did not happen.
No.
I didn't think because I thought Bonham. Okay, and then that's all. That's the scores I have.
All right, we'll jump into stats now. We'll start with Howe. As they've actually moved the ball pretty well on offense tonight and just stuttered and couldn't get any points when they got down in the red zone. Quarterback Austin Haley is 7 of 9 for 35 yards. He also adds 7 rushes for -12. 3 of those rushes he was sacked. He also has a fumble. Jalen Thornton has 3 catches for 14 yards, 6 carries for 26 yards. He has been the lightning strike the Bulldogs need tonight, as he's been the offense pretty much. Colby Taylor, 1 catch for 5 yards. Ethan Lopez, 1 catch for 9 yards. Landon Duty, 1 catch for 6 yards. Carson Daniels, 1 catch for a yard. He also adds 4 carries for 15 yards. And Matt Hayes has 3 carries for 1 yard. On defense for the Bulldogs, Austin Haley has 6 tackles. Carson, 3 and a pass deflection. Cooper Jones, 2 and a 4th down stop. Jackson, 3, Jordan, 3, Matt, 3, and Bryce Crosby, 2. For Sanger, Rylan Smart, 6 of 12, 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's 3 of 3 rushes for 14 yards. The leading receiver for Sanger tonight, Zach Shepard, 4 catches, 116 yards and a touchdown. Talon Wellborn, their offense, 11 carries, 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bush adds a carry and 13 yards. Creed Carter, 5 tackles. Zach Carter, 5 tackles. Jalen Olsen, 2 tackles and a sack. And Avery Walker, 2 sacks for the Sanger defense.
All right, thank you, sir. We're going to recap this sucker for you. Let's see. I think we're going to be good there. So hopefully we have some highlights this week. I know our young man, Jake, has been doing a great job with that. If the board operator could get it right, maybe we could display some of his great work. We'll try to do that now. Okay, so Sanger started with the football first. They won the toss, and so they wanted to take it on down the field first. They went 10 plays, but a great play on the edge by Cooper Jones turned them over on downs. And then Howe took the ball with 9:50 left to go, but they had to punt. Gave it back to Sanger with 7:18 on the clock. They drove 9 plays, 40 yards, and it was capped off by this 6-yard touchdown by Welburn. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown Sanger for the first time tonight. Welburn gets on the board after being named Mr. Touchdown. So Howe then, after a 7-0, they were trailing 7-0 with 4:53 remaining in the second quarter. They took the ball and went 17 plays. It was a great drive. They started moving the football and took it all the way into the second quarter. However, they turned it over on downs at the 22-yard line. They gave it back to Sanger, and it quickly went 2 plays, 78 yards on this 65-yard touchdown from Smart to Terrell. Smart wanted to throw a deep ball, wide open, caught it at the 35. Strolling into the end zone is Dewey Terrell. And that capped off that 2-play, 78-yard drive, made it 14-0 with 8:41 remaining in the second quarter. Howe took it and then had to turn it over again. Punt, rather. And then Sanger took it with 6:03 left to go in the second quarter at their own 30-yard line with 8 plays, 70 yards. And it was capped off by this 2-yard touchdown. Maybe the 2. Got a 5-yard gain there. Here's Smart, handoff, Welburn, and he bowls over. Almost goes untouched. He did move, basically move a linebacker with his left thigh to get in the end zone. 21-0, 3:18 on the clock at that point. Gave it back to Howe, and this is really where the game changed. A snap went through the hands of Haley. He wasn't able to hang on to it, and Singer recovered it deep in Howe territory at the 35. 2 plays later, it was a 27-yard touchdown from Smart to Shepard.
Back 3 steps, sets up a screen to Shepard, middle of the field. Chased down by Carson Daniels, but he's not going to be able to catch it. Shepard's too fast, and he scores right there on a 27-yard screen pass.
So that made it 28-0 with 59 seconds remaining before the second quarter, before the half, rather. And then Howe took it and wasn't able to do much with it. So we will, we're just about ready for action here, as the Tech Wave kickoff is just about ready to be banged by Ortega. And back deep is Jalen Thornton and Jordan Jones. And Ortega is going to send it high, but not deep. Fair catch called for by Caleb Warmond, and then he tried to almost run with it, and Jordan Jones grabbed his jersey and said, no, you're not going anywhere.
Pretty good job there by Jones to keep him from running with that.
25-yard line, 1st and 10.
So let's see what's going on with a battery here. Okay. Good eye there, Carson Grogan. There we go. We're back. Just like that. How about that?
All right.
Okay, so what are we doing here? Listen, I got to get these nachos out of the way. Somebody take those nachos. I don't know whose they are, but let's get them. Here's Haley, and he's going to hand off up the middle. Carson Daniels looking for some room, and he does search forward for about 5 yards on 1st down.
Got a little trap play there to Daniels. Let's see if they get back to the running game here. Of Carson Daniels had a couple of decent runs there in that first drive of the game, and see if they want to reestablish that.
All right, so 2nd down and about 5 as a man goes in motion, and now whistles will blow.
Looks like another false start against the Bulldogs.
So Howe started, what, at their 25?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So up to the 30, and now back after the penalty to the 25. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. And you can hear the cheerleaders. I haven't mentioned that they installed some new speakers today. Maybe I did mention that, but they work pretty well, don't they?
Almost too well.
Here's a handoff up the middle by Daniels. He had a hole in a lane for a moment, but it closed quickly, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Daniels just not able to hit that hole very quickly. That's 2nd time, maybe 3rd time tonight we've seen there's been a lane, and it just quickly evaporates because that quick defense from the Indians. And so 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 here for the Bulldogs.
Haley in the pistol will send out Duty Wait far to the left. Colby Taylor split out wide to the right. Again, no Ryan Huff tonight. And Haley flushed, but he's going to throw quickly. It's going to be caught by Thornton, trying to make a man miss. Can't do it. A great open field tackle by the Singer Indians slot receiver, or slot cornerback. And that's going to be C.J. Flowers with a great tackle. And Howe's going to have to punt on their first possession.
Just a quick pass there over to Thornton. It was a good thought, and Thornton one-on-one over there, but good job by Flowers to take him down, because if he wasn't able to make that tackle, Thornton had a lot of room to run, could probably get a 1st down out of it.
So Shepard, the ever-dangerous Luke Shepard.
Zach Shepard back
Shepard. We'll see him later on down the road.
Yes.
Zach Shepard will stand at his own 44-yard line, and Thornton's punt is going to be taken at the 44. On the move is Shepard. Down along the far sideline, a clear lane. He's going to be pushed out of bounds by Colby Taylor around the 20-yard line.
Man, that kid is so quick. Gets it on the run and just goes down the sideline until he doesn't see any more blockage ahead of him and just steps out of bounds.
9:38 on the clock as we begin Singer's first possession. of the second half. They'll actually say he stepped out at the 21-yard line, and that's where they'll give him possession. Now, Sanger's in just great situation right here. You're 21 yards away from pay dirt. You've got Wellborn. It's kind of like taking candy from a baby in this situation. A big 4A school with a big 4A fullback, and he's rolling around the left side, bumbling, rumbling, stumbling, and down to about the 11 or 12-yard line. A nice job by Howe to kind of straighten that one out and flatten it out to the sideline, but still, that's a load to bring down.
Yeah, he stood on the right of Smart, went around that left side and just kind of waited for his outside blocks to form, and just good vision by him and just good patience.
Ball spotted at the 12. Smart wants to throw right side, and it's going to be caught and quickly brought down. No, he breaks the tackle and now gang tackled right at the first down marker. And on the reception is Ben Turnbow. And it's going to be very close to a first down, but I think a yard short.
That quick tunnel screen we've seen a couple of times that Shepard has done, and to get it to Turnbow, and Bulldogs, good job there in pursuit to keep him from getting the first down.
Oh, it feels good in here.
It does. Some airflow is coming through here good.
3rd down and 1, and Ryan Smart is going to hand off to Wilbur straight up the middle, and he churns forward for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal as he just barely stayed out of the end zone at the 2-yard line.
He went right behind his left tackle.
1st and goal.
I believe his left tackle, Nathan Hunt, and just kind of rode his coattails there across the first down marker.
Smart, handoff, Welburn straight up the middle, 2 yards is pretty easy for him, and he's in. Touchdown, Sanger. They add to the lead. They bump it on up to 34-0 here at Bulldog Stadium to open up the 2020 season. It is homecoming, and Sanger's having all the fun.
I tell you what, Wellborn, he is, me and Caroline and I think Blake, or maybe it's Carson, were talking about it during halftime. That guy's just built like a cinder block. I mean, he's just got big thighs and big waist, and just hard to bring down, and just plows over everyone.
And he was a slot receiver last year. About
really?
Midway through the year, they said, hey, let's try maybe a running back. And here's Ortega for the PAT. We'll get back to that story in a moment. It's 35-0 here at Bulldog Stadium. We'll be right back right after this timeout. Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you've ever been in an automobile accident, who do you trust for your needed repairs? Star Auto Body is Texoma's most trusted body shop, serving all of Grayson County and surrounding counties since 1992. Star Auto Body is locally owned and operated. Services include major collision repairs with or without insurance claims, minor cosmetic repairs, parts replacement, and refinishing. Choose Star Auto Body and Alignments in Howe, Texas, 903-532-5365. Star Auto Body of Howe, Texas.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 4 plays, 21 yards for Sanger, capped off by a 2-yard touchdown by Welburn. Here's the Tech Wave kickoff, going to be taken by Caleb Warman. He's the up man, and he catches it at the 30 and rolls up to the 40. And Howe starts in pretty good field position at their own 40-yard line, moving south, left to right from our vantage point on the home side here at Bulldog Stadium. And let's see if Howe can kind of get things going again on offense. They looked really good with that one 17-play drive from the first and second quarter. Got to get it going again.
May want to wait here a second. I want to hear your story about Wellborn and being a slot receiver to running back.
Well, they put him in at one game, and he basically won the entire game for them, is what one of the coaches said. And they said, well, maybe he's pretty good at this. We'll leave him here. And he's awfully good at that. Here's Thornton on first down. And he's got a good carry up to the 50-yard line, a 10-yard gain, as he breaks a few tackles and carries a couple of defenders on his back. As Jalen Thornton is he's really a spark plug for this whole offense.
We've been talking in the booth here off air. He's just you can tell he's what's making this offense go here. He's what's been missing the first 2 games of the season.
Without question. Duty split out wide to the left. Colby Taylor near side.
And this is going to be another handoff to Thornton up the middle this time. He escapes the defender at the 45, bounces out of another 9-yard gain by Thornton. And that one was going to be trapped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss, but he somehow got out.
I tell you what, he's done that so many times. We've seen in his Howe Bulldog career where he's caught behind the line of scrimmage, and he's just able to make something out of nothing and gets a 9-yard gain out of it. I don't know how he does it.
2nd down and 1. It's the Thornton show here in the second half on this drive, as he's really just,
And he's not a big kid.
He's just a game changer on offense.
He really is.
He's just so quick and electric. Here's Haley on 2nd down and 1. They give it to Thornton. Who else? He's got enough for a first. He gains across the 40 to the 39-yard line, so a new set of downs for Howe. And Thornton got popped pretty hard at the end of that run.
Yeah, they had pistol formation, put him in the backfield, just let him go straight ahead, but he met the
number 56,
number 33 at linebacker there, Carson Stamper, who stamped him pretty good there. Made him pay for that first down.
1st and 10. Left to right goes Howe towards the south end zone. There's 6:23 on the clock. It's rolling here in the 3rd quarter.
This is reminiscent of what we saw the offense in that late first, early 2nd quarter.
Haley sends Jalen Thornton out of the backfield and then hands it to Carson Daniels, who rumbles for 5 yards to the 35-yard line. So that's what we talked about earlier. You send a receiver or back out of the backfield, and then they've been throwing that little screen pass to him. Well, if they keep doing that, and then it got
on the defense.
They were reading it pretty well by the end of the 2nd quarter. So what they do, they did that, but they faked it, and they handed off to Carson Daniels up the middle, and what do you know? About a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, use kind of Jalen that time. Use him as kind of a decoy.
2nd down and 6. They'll give him 4. And Haley is going to toss to Thornton. He can't get out of this one. He's gang tackled for a loss. Back to the original set of downs there at about the 38-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 9.
It's a good job by, I think that was one of the defensive linemen, let's see who it was, able to get off his block and shed it pretty good. And even Jalen Thornton not able to get out of that one.
They'll spot it at the 38-yard line. 3rd down and 9 coming up. The offense looks to the line of scrimmage, looking for the call. Duty split out wide to the right. Elo, the slot on the near side. And Haley drops back 3 steps, sets up the screen. Colby Taylor makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage. And now he rumbles forward down to about maybe the 34-yard line. Not enough for a first down, but it does set up a striking distance 4th down of about 6 yards.
Yeah, I was going to say this is probably 4-down territory. You didn't have to get the all 10 yards or whatever on that down, but you got about 4 of it, 6 of it. And so it's going to third down and 6, I believe.
That's 4th down.
4th down, 6. I'm sorry.
So if you're in this position, who do you give the ball to with 4th down and 6?
I think everybody's expecting Thornton.
I think my eyes would be on Thornton. Here's a handoff to Thornton, and he's going to rumble out left side, breaks a tackle, close to the first down. He dives for it. I'm not sure he got it. He's right at it. It's going to be very close.
I think he got it. A second effort, he hit it, and he bounced more to the outside. And we may see something we haven't seen in a while. A measurement. We haven't seen that. I don't know how long it's been since we've seen that a measurement. Well, no, I'm sorry, Monty. We may be seeing an injury, actually. Jalen Thornton's slow to get up. He's getting up now, jogging across the field.
Well, they did rule an injury timeout there for a moment, but you're right.
It was an injury timeout.
Apparently, it's going back the other way. It's not a first down, as he didn't get enough for the first. So it appears that Sanger will take over on downs. The officials tonight are out of the Dallas chapter.
Indians take over, 1st and 10.
The referee is Van Boatwright. The umpire is Paul Wood. I know that guy. The head linesman, Tommy Manning. The line judge is Brady Russell. And the back judge is Todd Ketchert. So 1st and 10 as we switch over and go the other way after a turnover on downs. 2 of Howe's greatest drives tonight have been turnover on downs. So starting at their own 30-yard line, Smart wants to roll out of the pocket near side. Going to be chased down by Bryce Crosby, who pushes him out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. So a gain of about 6 sets up a 2nd down and 4.
I'm okay with that. Look, good coverage downfield by the Bulldogs. And while doing that, they never lost track of Smart. Even though he got a 6-yard gain, though, they did a good job of tracking him and not letting him get the big play.
2nd down and 4. As you know, you look at the score, it's 35-0, but Howe's done a fairly good. I mean, it's a better feel about the game.
It does. It really does. It's a better feeling defeat.
Something's better. And here's Welborn on the
Welborn
handoff
on the
to the right
carry.
side. He breaks one tackle, rolls all the way, jumps over a defender at the first down marker, and now rolls over another defender. This has to be one of the hardest men to tackle that I have seen, as he just rumbles and stumbles. I mean, it's like a mixture of Moose Johnston and Emmitt Smith. If you could mix them together and package them up, that's what you got.
Well, it looked like Zeke Elliott there for a little bit, jumping a hurdle over a man. And he got the bench on the other side for the Sanger and the fans up off their feet on that one.
Man alive, that kid is something else.
I'm kind of curious to see how many yards he has for the night.
First down and 10. Right to left goes Sanger and whistles before this one gets underway, and probably a good thing because Smart was wanting to throw the deep ball, and he had Shepard. And Shepard looked like he was on his way for 6.
False start against the Indians.
So a false start against Sanger will back it up 5.
Welborn has 15 carries for 115 yards and
5-yard
3
penalty,
touchdowns.
still first down.
How many touchdowns?
3.
3 touchdowns.
So 15 for 115 and 3.
Wow. That's impressive half.
Well, he's averaging about 200 yards a game coming into the night.
So it'll be 1st and 15 and another jump, but they don't call it. It's a screen pass this time.
Bush just come
and
in.
Bush
Number
gets
20
the
pass
swing
complete from
pass.
Smart
And
to
now I
Bush.
thought a flag was thrown, but it's the cheerleaders throwing
the
T-shirts
footballs. Or,
into
yeah.
the stands. So that's going to be a gain of about 9 yards on this
Cooper
little swing
Jones
pass to
making
Bush,
the
setting
stop,
up a second down and
24.
7.
Bush is the lightning to the thunder and lightning of between Welborn and Bush for
Well,
the
that's
Indians.
that. It really is a good change of pace. And here's a screen pass to Shepard. Look out there.
pass
He's
complete
got a
to
first down.
Zach Shepard.
And a couple of yards after that, close to the 20-yard line.
I tell you what, the Indians have lived and died off handing it to Welborn, and then just these quick screens out to the right side. It's usually always out to the right too. They've made a living off that all tonight, all game tonight.
2 receivers out right. Smart wants to throw near side, however, this time on the bubble screen, and the ball is on the turf, and I think Howe has it. Jordan Jones, the homecoming king, has recovered a fumble at the 25-yard line.
Good job there by the Bulldogs, staying after it, stripping the ball from the receiver, and Jordan Jones at the right spot, the homecoming king, able to hop on it. And something positive for the Bulldogs.
Bryce Crosby and Jaron Grisham with the strip.
All right, 1st and 10, Howe.
And these are some positive things. I mean, you may not win the game, but when you're looking back on film, I mean, these are some getting turnovers. Those are some things to highlight for the Bulldog defense and the Bulldog team.
So Howe takes it with 1:45 on the clock from their own 25-yard line. And Haley's in the pistol with Daniels behind him and Thornton deep. And Thornton gets the toss, looking for the far side, breaking tackles. Good for 10, 11, and finally pushed backwards at about the 31-yard line. Or 36-yard line.
Bulldog first down.
Hey, good job outside block there by Brantley Flynn, helping free up Jalen Thornton there for that first down run.
56.
This offensive line has done fairly well. I mean, they've had some lapses at times, but this is probably one of their best games so far this season.
Without question. Yeah, I would say this is by far their best game they've had so far this year. 1st and 10, left to right. Haley in the gun. Throws right side, quick pass to Colby Taylor. A nice play defensively to break that one up. As right there was Bush. At the same time the ball arrived to Taylor, Bush was right there to knock it away.
Haley tried to throw the quick pass to Taylor. Taylor's had one catch here tonight, but Bush able to close in fairly quickly there to knock it away.
2nd down and 10 coming up for Howe. As there's exactly 1 minute left to go in the third, and Sanger's up 35-0. Haley wants to throw. He's being pressured now. He stops the throw, rolls right up the middle, and he kind of runs close to the ground for about 6 or 7 yards, almost like he was expecting to be popped, but he wasn't. He made good
yardage out of that, up to the 43-yard line.
It looked almost like a Tony Romo, able to shed one guy, look up, try to survey the defense, and then does a good job there avoiding tacklers or running and making a respectable gain.
3rd down and 3. Howe needs to get to the 46-yard line to pick up a first down. Right now they're at the 43. Daniels, the only man in the backfield, but a jet sweep near side. Thornton's going to be shaking a defender. Boy, what a great open field tackle.
Jalen Thornton carrying
that was
Bulldogs
a tremendous open field tackle by Creed Carter as he shadowed Jalen Thornton the whole time. And as soon as Thornton got it on the jet sweep, he just used his speed to catch up with him and bring him down. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter.
We're moving fast.
And that's
we
the
are
end of
moving
the 3rd
fast.
quarter.
35-0. We'll be right back right after this.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage is an equal housing lender company. NMLS 3274. Michelle Castle. NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriting approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Buying and or selling your next home should be an enjoyable experience. At Ann's Realty Group, our commitment to the personal relationship of the transaction ensures not only the level of communication that you deserve, but also the assurance that we will be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. The flexibility that the freedom of being an independent brokerage allows us to be fully at your service as you need us to be. Ann's Realty Group, Ann Dick & Broker for all your real estate needs. 903-818-2676.
Back to punt is Jalen Thornton, and a low spiraling kick towards the bench and on the track of Sanger. And that'll go out of bounds. Let's check down with our Night Furniture sideline reporter, Caroline Slauson. Better night tonight?
It really is, guys. And I mean, the scoreboard doesn't show it, but this is a different team. There's just a different atmosphere, feel in the atmosphere for sure.
Hey, tell us about these red shirts the cheerleaders are wearing.
Yeah, so it's Patriot Day, as everyone knows, 9/11, and these shirts are supporting that. And the front say, "God bless the USA," and the back I can't see.
I think it says HOCO 9/11/2020. That's what the back of the shirt says. So all those at home that saw the pep rally and they were wearing red, and don't freak out, alumni.
Not changing colors.
Not changing. Not a.
40-yard line first.
Not doing any of that. Just representing America. So that's okay. That's obviously okay. So after the Jalen Thornton punt, Sanger will take it with 11:52 on the clock at their own 42-yard line, and this is going to be, I think, Welburn. Is that Welburn? No, was that a quick pass? I was looking down writing.
It was.
I think that was
screen, that tunnel screen they've been running all night long.
Complete to
I think that was
number 88, Ian Dewey.
Terrault. That's what it was, Terrault. And an injured player down for
Injury
Howe.
timeout.
Ball goes up to the 47-yard line.
It almost looks like a cramp from.
Yeah, it does. They're pushing on the top of the leg, so that's a calf cramp that happens all the time. It's still warm. It's a nicer evening tonight than it has been.
Looks like it's Austin Haley, by the way, too.
And it's still kind of warm. Now, you heard the blizzard. That may be Austin Haley, which is a bad sign because, he's obviously your quarterback, remember. But, that's what happens when you're asking guys to go both ways that haven't been doing that is, maybe they're not conditioned to go both ways at this point when they haven't been, obviously. And, Haley's maybe suffering some cramps, whereas some of these other guys that are going both ways are maybe getting through that process.
Yeah, especially Haley because he hasn't done that at all this season. And you kind of wonder, too, once the Bulldogs get the ball on the offensive side, at what point will they go ahead and rest Haley and we see Ethan Lopez?
Well, Haley is coming to his feet, and he's gingerly walking on that right ankle. It's a cramp, but boy, he is really. It looks like an ankle injury, but it doesn't appear to be that.
It's
I don't think
the injured player.
So it's second down and 2 for Sanger as they're moving towards the south end zone, just shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. And I think they're ready to come back on the field. The Howe defense is on the field. Jackson Atkins playing a linebacker tonight instead of his customary defensive line position. He and Carson Daniels, interior linebackers tonight, trying to stop Welburn, but that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Smart wants to throw screen pass left side. That's going to be caught and hit hard, knocked down immediately by Matt Hayes right at the first down marker, but I think the Indians are going to be able to move it on across midfield for a first down.
And good job there by Jaron Grisham. Jaron Grisham was also in pursuit. Big body like his, he was moving pretty good.
First and 10 for Sanger, moving left to right. We have 10:51 on the clock. It is moving. It's first and 10. This is going to be a handoff near side, and that's Bush. He's quick. He's got the 40, 35. Look out, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Bush is in the end zone. And Sanger extends their lead 41-0 over Howe with 10:37 remaining in the fourth.
And Monty, looks like we got a flag here, too, that
we got a hold against Sanger. So that'll wipe off the touchdown.
Line holding against the Indians.
And I wonder if it's going to be a hold on one of the outside receivers as he was coming around the outside there, if it's going to be a hold on one of the...
Well, the flag is laying at the 35-yard line near the Howe bench, so you're probably right about that. It's thrown, from the line judge, and he is talking to one of the receivers,
Turnbow,
and Turnbow just kind of laughs and says, "No way!" That's obviously what they're going to say. But Turnbow is going to be the one guilty of the infraction. They'll move it back across the 50 to the 45-yard line, and we'll do this again. Sorry, Mr. Bush, no touchdown right there. It's still 35-0, and right now there's 10:37 on the clock. Ryan Strong still in the game. Here's a jet sweep to Shepard from right to left. He's got a lot of room, and he knocks down a defender. The ball's loose, and Howe has it at the 35-yard line. Another turnover. This time it's Shepard.
And I think Shepard was just trying to get a second effort there, and I guess the ball popped out. I didn't see who stripped there. Blizzard, I don't know if you saw that, but it just goes flying out, and Bulldogs able to land on it. And unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they're down 35-0, but they're able to force their second turnover.
Jordan Troxtel got the strip and the recovery.
Wow, Jordan Troxtel, nice play right there to strip and recover it. Ball at the 35-yard line for Howe, where they will be moving right to left. And we'll see if Austin Haley's coming back out, and I believe he's going to, as he is going to come back out. 10:27 on the clock. Howe down 35-0, but a much different game than it has been. The scoreboard may seem like it's same old, but it's really not been tonight.
It does feel different. And Monty Haley's coming out. He does walking around just a little bit gingerly.
3 receivers, right side. Daniels all alone in the backfield. And a quick pass to Jordan Jones, and he is not able to bring it down. It was kind of high. Went up for it, tried to bring it down the second time, but it was incomplete. Near midfield at the 44-yard line. Right at about 9 yards is what it would have been if he'd have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, quick slant there. Kyle Watts was right there in coverage, and almost on the ricochet. He was almost able to come back, get it back, and secure it. They just couldn't do it. Fell incomplete.
Second down and 10 for Howe and Haley, moving right to left from their own 35-yard line. Thornton will be in the slot right side. Jordan Jones split out wide to the left. Handoff Daniels. No, Haley kept it, and maybe he should have given it to Daniels.
Yeah, that may have been a read option of some time there. And yeah, as soon as he kept it, he was surrounded by Indians.
Loss of 2 brings up third down and 12 at the 33-yard line.
I'm going to put in the call. I think this will probably be the last drive for Austin Haley tonight.
The Sanger Indians have not pulled their first-team units off the field at all tonight. So you never know. Here's Haley with Daniels behind him. And a quick screen pass out. That's going to be a lateral. You better get on it. Fighting for the ball. And it goes out of bounds, thankfully, as Ethan Lopez kind of watched it go. It was thrown behind him. It was incomplete. But Elo just kind of watched it as the Sanger Indians, both of the defenders went, hey, that's a lateral. And they went diving after the ball, but it went out of bounds.
Yeah, Lopez, I think, thought it was just an incomplete pass. And lucky for him, it went rolling out of bounds. But the Indians, until they heard a whistle, they were going to dive for it.
So with the lateral, the ball goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That's a loss of 7. And Thornton's going to have to punt this one away. And the ball goes through his hands. He's going to run with it. And he jumps over a defender, and this is going to be bad news. He's only going to gain about 6 or 7 yards. Probably should have tried to at least kick the ball at some point, but wasn't able to do so. And now Thornton is down.
Oh, man.
Carson's Stamper.
And it looked like he had a little extra time. I mean, they were coming at him. It looked like he could have got some kind of a running rugby-style kick away, but he decided to tuck in and run, and he may have paid the price as he's
grabbing his knee.
Yeah, it looked like he was grabbing his left knee there. So it'll be a turnover on downs, essentially, is the call. Sanger will have the ball with 9:23 left to go in the game at the Howe 34-yard line. But more importantly, Jalen Thornton is down, and things don't look good right here. This doesn't look like – is it a cramp? As Ricky Ake looks like he might be in the cramp position.
Yeah, it looks like he's in the cramp repair position there, trying to massage it out.
Cramp repair position.
Trying to massage that out. And
maybe that's what it was. Dodged a bullet there. The cramp repair.
There you go.
We need to get a sponsor for the cramp repair. Thornton will limp off the field. Sanger again will take over 1st and 10 at the Howe 32-yard line. No. 32-yard line.
Have a cramp repair spot. Have Ricky Ake do the
that
spot.
Would be great. You know, instead of it's we need to come up with like a truck repair or something, but have it themed to where it's cramp repair. It's pretty good. 1st and 10. Smart still in the game. Ryan Smart, quarterback, junior quarterback, and he's impressive. Throws a swing pass out, caught by Bush, and he is so quick. There's a flag down, 2 flags down, and Bush was down after about a 2-yard gain, but let's check the flags.
We have 2 flags on the play.
So there's 9:14 on the clock. Howe trails 35-0 here at the home opener Bulldog Stadium. This is going to be another hold against Sanger. It's coming back 10 yards.
You know, they've been giving the ball to Wellborn during this game, and they've done a lot of that. But they've passed the ball quite a bit. They're a pretty balanced type of offense. At least we've seen that tonight.
Holding is the call against the Indians.
They'll push this one back 10 as you hear the great Roger Tidwell say it's holding. And they'll move it on back to the 41-yard line. And that's going to be the first down play for Ryan Strong. And again, Wellborn out of the game. Now it's Bush.
Stephen Bush in the backfield along with Smart.
So Smart's going to hand off to Bush left side. He bounces out. He is so quick. He cuts inside. He's got 10 yards, but still needs to get another 10 for a first. But he picked up half of it right there. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. 8:49 on the clock.
It's pick your poison for the Bulldogs. Do you want the big tree trunk, rumbling, bumbling Wellborn, or do you want the fast, shifty?
He's like Barry Sanders.
He really is. Bush.
2nd down and 11. And a jet sweep coming near side. New player into the game. And defensively, a great play made by Austin Haley to cut that one off. On the jet sweep, it was Peyton.
Punches?
But Haley punched him down right there. It's going to be 3rd down and 11. No gain on the play.
Good job there by Haley coming from safety position.
3rd down.
Eyeing it down, and I tell you, cramp and all.
11.
He came in
for first.
Took down punches.
Haley has always been a good defender in football. He's always been above that. Now, he's played linebacker a lot. Hasn't played a lot of secondary, but he's always been a real good tackler. And so having him on the field is a good thing for Howe. You just worry about
that exposure. Here's Smart going for the home run ball, but he's flushed down to the pocket. He's going to be sacked back near midfield. Harrington. But Cooper Jones started it when he wrapped him up at the 48, and Harrington finished him off.
Good play by Cooper Jones. Came from that right side there and just smart pump fake. Tried to find a receiver downfield. Couldn't find nothing. Jones able to finally, in pursuit, able to bring him down. And as you said, Harrington able to finish him off.
That brings up 4th down.
So that moves them back to the 45-yard line, an 8-yard loss. And it's 4th down. Are we going to see the punt team for the first time tonight?
I think so. And Harrington there, I think that's the first sack for the Bulldogs, maybe in the season tonight for sure.
Welburn back into the game. He's a left-footed punter. 6:52 on the clock. And this was a high short kick. It's going to bounce at about the 25, take a good hop for Singer inside the 15 and be killed at the 13-yard line. So a pretty good punt there by Welburn. He does everything. He's also the backup quarterback. So pretty talented young man. Again, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he was named Mr. Texas Football today by Dave Campbell. So that's quite an honor.
It is. It is. A lot of all the teams and players around Texas, that is a big honor.
6:40 on the clock. Howe is going to take it at their own 13-yard line. 14-yard line, apparently.
And Haley is coming in at quarterback still.
So we have Seth Key and Luke Jackson and others still on the line of scrimmage. Haley in the pistol, and Matt Hayes in there now, and he gets the carry right behind the left tackle. That one's going to be good for about 8 yards. A nice run by Matt Hayes.
I like that they had everybody bunched together. And give it to Hayes, and Hayes get a good block or a good hole there for him, and able to get a good gain out of that.
2nd down and 2 coming up for the Bulldogs. You'd like to see them get on the board tonight. They've had a so much better game offensively, but it's not going to look that way unless they score. Handoff right side. This is Hayes again, surging forward for a 1st down, and he has it, I believe, at the 24 or 5-yard line. They do move the sticks.
Hayes trying to do his best Jalen Thornton impression there, getting spun around and kept turning his legs and able to spin for a first down.
1st down and 10. Howe moving right to left. They have the ball at their own 24-yard line. And Haley in the pistol. He's going to run to the near side. And he cuts up and is going to gain a couple of yards. You know, that's a dangerous situation. I mean, you can't play scared, and you can't call the game scared. You got to have your kids in the game and not be scared to have them, do what they do. But it's 2nd down and 7 coming up.
You're right. You don't want to play in fear, but you just worry about Haley's health, the amount of hits he's taken, and then you have playmakers around him, and you give him the ball and let him go around.
I think as
35-0 game.
I think as this team matures and Haley's no longer a freshman and sophomore, when he's a junior and senior, you don't think about stuff like that as much as you do. But he's so young, and you just worry about that. The timeout's been called. We'll take a quick one. We'll be right back right after this.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Are you motivated?
Coach, we're highly motivated for Sonic.
What?
Coach, you know we're rough and tough, but sometimes we just need a burger, tots, and a shake.
Oh, my goodness. Well, if you're going to Sonic and Howe, pick me up some of those handmade onion rings.
Yes, sir. Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles.
It's not just good.
It's Sonic good.
Whoa. Those onion rings really bring the hammer down.
Bringing Jalen Thornton down on that 2nd down carry was a host of Singer Indians, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 8 now, a loss of a yard, as Thornton looked like he was going to gain a lot when he bumped up to the right side, but he was quickly gathered.
Well, Monty, I'm just glad to see Thornton back out there after that injury earlier. We didn't know what his future would be, and good to see him back out there.
Haley wants it with 4:24 on the clock. Toss to Jalen Thornton, left side, right behind the left guard. And he's going to surge for a little bit to about the 29-yard line. About a 3-yard gain, and he's going to be asked to punt here on 4th down. And that's the hard part. When you've had cramps, you know, running and all of that is one thing. But let me speak from experience here. When you go back to punt and you have to use those calves, both of them when you punt. And when you're if you're a right-footed punter, you have to bunch up your left foot, your left calf when you plant off of it. And then when you punt, your right calf is bunched up. So that's the hard part.
So there's a lot of muscles being used.
A lot, yes.
Look like we had an offside there on Sanger.
So that'll actually make it a 4th and 2 for Howe. And why not? Just go for it right here. There's 3:53 on the clock, and now you're kind of hoping, all right, if we go for it and we don't make it, you know, hey, come on, Coach Smart. You know, what are you going to do? But
looks like Blackjack Jailing is going to roll the dice again.
So it's 3rd down and 2, or 3rd down and 2. It's not 4th. Okay. Here we go. Handoff right side, Carson Daniels. They don't have to worry about it. Carson Daniels plays the role of Wellborn, and he's shot out of a cannon to the 45-yard line.
I'm about to say, they look like Talon Wellborn in black pants, black jersey there, rumbling over the 40-yard line for a 1st down.
So 1st and 10 near midfield. As quickly, here goes Howe. Haley is going to keep it around the right edge. He turns on the afterburners, and he has a 1st down. Haley, we've always said, he's not fast. But he was fast right there.
He was a read option there. He decided to keep it, faked it to Daniels, and then took it around that right side. And that's kind of what this offense, if it ever gets going, that's what you want to kind of see. And also Haley puts it in another gear.
Man, that's a gear I've never seen out of that young man.
It really is.
So 1st and 10 for Howe at the Sanger 42-yard line. And Haley is going to hand off to Carson Daniels, who's brought down at about a 1-yard gain at the 41.
And different times tonight, we've seen this offense just kind of mature a little bit, or see some things starting to finally progress. You've seen the quick passes. We've seen Haley run the ball. We've seen, of course, a lot of his help with Jalen Thornton being in the game and kind of changing things up.
It does help a lot.
Well, you take what you can get, and then you have the bye week next week to kind of help with injuries and kind of get some people back. You bring back Ryan Huff, hopefully, in 2 weeks when you go to Pottsboro.
2nd down and 9. Haley handoff. Thornton, and he is electric. Here's one of his fast, quick runs, and he makes his way to the 21-yard line. Another 1st down for Howe. And I'll give you one thing. This Howe Bulldog team, I don't care what the score is, in the 4th quarter, they come to play football.
They really are. They're just 2 or 3 quarters a little too late, but yeah, they're still got their foot on the gas pedal. They still got the green light.
It was good to see a week ago against Bells that they didn't give up. They kept playing, they kept fighting, and you can build on that, especially with such a young team. It's so good to see. 1st down and 10. Howe at the Sanger 31-yard line. Man in motion is Thornton. No, that's Elo. And this is going to be a handoff to Thornton, and that's to Carson Daniels, and it didn't work because someone ran into another one, and it looked like Jalen Thornton ran the wrong play as Daniels tripped over Thornton. And a timeout's been called. We'll take 1-2 real quick. We'll be back in a moment.
Cooler heads prevail in football, and for over 50 years, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been keeping the Bulldogs cooled off. Not too many have reached 50 years in Howe, but Baker Air Conditioning and Heating have been at 215 North Denny Street since Richard Nixon was president. But there's nothing tricky about Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. They have a great reputation by servicing all brands. If the heat gets to you, call them at 903-532-6255.
2nd down and 11 as Sanger comes back out on the field. Howe was already out on the field. They're ready to move this thing.
Bulldogs want to try to score here.
Absolutely. At their Sanger 31-yard line, there's a minute 15 left to go in the game. Haley is in the pistol with Daniels behind him. Haley wants to throw. Deep ball, left side, looking down the field. It's going to be intercepted at the 1-yard line.
Pass has been intercepted by the Indians.
Well, he went for it all, tried to get it down to
Caleb McNutt.
McNutt downfield.
First time we've seen him all year. He's had that hip flexor. He goes into the game, and Haley quickly tries to throw it to him, but it's picked off at the 1. First interception of the year for Haley.
And I admire the Bulldogs' courage there, just trying to go for it all, but unfortunately he just underthrew it just a little bit. It was intercepted there. I believe that was Kyle Watts, with the interception. I'm not sure.
A minute left to go in the game. And Howe, you got to respect trying to, punch it in, go for at least, the end zone. And they're being aggressive, they're attacking, so you like to see that.
Well, Coach Jay said on the coaching show that, going against Bells, he let them know, hey, you scored against the ones there on defense, the Bells first string there. So kind of give them confidence. You can score, though, if you execute.
So here comes Sanger. They're going to be with their toes in the end zone as the ball's at the 1 yard line. Ryan Strong still in the game at quarterback. No, it's a new quarterback, and it gets away from him, and it may have gone out of the end zone. There's a scramble for it 9 yards deep in the end zone, in the north end zone. Still no official word, but it may be a safety. Let's see. It is a safety.
Yeah.
How's on the scoreboard?
They're on the scoreboard.
Second safety of the year. There goes the shutout. And Sanger will have to punt it or kick it back to Howe.
Well, if anybody was upset about the 35-point spread or was feeling good, there goes that. Bulldogs able to get on the board. It was kind of a high snap, and Smart not able to handle it in the end zone, and Bulldogs, or they're able to recover, but Bulldogs get the safety.
There's 56 seconds remaining in the game, and Howe's going to get the ball back. And if you're going to try to hammer it down the field,
why not?
Why not?
I would like to say a Bulldog came out of the pile with the ball, but I couldn't tell if it was out of the back of the end zone, though. But it must have been for us to only get a safety.
Yeah, we'll be able to tell on the film, when we look at it and see who came up with it. But I'm going to tell you what, this may be a game. Now, I understand. People will say I'm absolutely crazy when you look at the scoreboard and say 35-2. But I think this is a game. And Sanger's a 4A school, and they're really good. And you can't say this is a team that went 1-9 last year and they're not any good. This is a totally different team with totally different players that are matured, and this is a really good football team. But I think you can look back, if you're Howe, on this game and say, hey, things changed that night. And some of those sophomores and a freshman played really good that night. And maybe you point back and say, maybe that's when things changed for the Howe Bulldogs. Maybe that's when they grew up, when they had to play a 4A team. And here's Welburn. And he will left-footed boot this one high, sends Thornton back to his own 37-yard line, coming left. Trying to find a block, can't get it, spins out of a tackle, slips down at the 35-yard line. That young man will try to fight through 3 or 4 or 5 tackles. It's fun to watch.
Got hit by 3 guys and got spun around and almost able to break that one. But even with the Sanger team, I was reading earlier this week and I was doing my research. 2 years ago, a lot of these seniors that are on this team were sophomores, and they were young, and they went through the 1-9, the 0-10. The Bulldogs may be kind of in a similar way. They've got a lot of sophomores, a lot of youngsters on this team that hopefully in a couple of years, maybe 2 years, that they'll be able to kind of do like Sanger is and kind of have those guys start to kind of grow up.
Well, if you thought Howe was going to go out and take a knee, you might be wrong, because here's Haley going out in the pistol with Carson Daniels right behind him. 3 receivers near side. One is Thornton, one is Elo, and I believe it's Caleb McNutt down at the bottom. Colby Taylor split out wide to the top. Haley wants to throw. Left side looking for Jalen Thornton. Caught it at the 30. Spins out of a tackle. Here he goes to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Kiss him goodbye. The Bulldogs are on the board at home for homecoming.
Don't call Coach Jay to mail it in. Don't tell him to give up. Jalen Thornton threw it down. I'll say it down to Jalen Thornton by himself and able to juke a guy out and get in the end zone for his first touchdown, his second touchdown receiving of the season.
A beautiful pass by Haley. Hit Thornton in stride on the near side right in front of the Howe bench. Headed north. Thornton made the catch, made one move, and he was gone. And Haley slipped a little bit as he went to throw. His back foot, when he went to plant, slipped on him just a little, but he made up for it with his arm.
To try the 2-point conversion.
And here's a 2-point conversion, and boy, that was right up the middle, and I don't think he's going to be in. He's not. So 35-8 will remain our score with 37 seconds left to go. We'll be right back right after this quick timeout.
Corfit Gym on Haining Street in Howe has a lot of new things to offer. Did you know they have an Iron Mike batting cage for baseball and softball lessons with on-site instructors? They also have a brand new stand-up tanning bed. Corfit Gym has 4 personal trainers available and features sports performance programs for athletes. At Corfit Gym, memberships are only $40 for the entire family or $30 per individual. Corfit Gym is on Facebook and located at 300 Haining Street in Howe. Call them at 469-371-0603.
Who, why, and how? Who are we? We're Pradera Mobile Home Community. Why live in Pradera? Because of Howe. Howe, Texas, that is. Howe is a small community with an outstanding school district and close proximity to all amenities you need. Pradera Mobile Home Community is tucked away between Highway 75 and Highway 5 near Bulldog Stadium. Our residents love that our community is so clean. They also love their 2 parks and their swimming pool. Pradera Mobile Home Community, 903-532-0014.
Number 3, Jordan Jones.
Well, the hit exterior scoring drive recap for Howe. 1 play, 65 yards. It was Jalen Thornton from Austin Haley. And the Howe Bulldogs are on the board offensively, 35-8 our score now. And here's a little kick
Number
by
4, Avery Walker.
Jordan Jones that only goes a few yards. I'm sure that was an onside attempt there. I believe it was.
At the Indian 45, first and 10.
So Howe's going to hand it back over to Singer with 32 seconds remaining in the game. But, you know, like I said, against a 4A team, the scoreboard doesn't indicate, but a much better performance tonight.
It really was. I mean, offensively, we started to see some things, see some glimpses of what this offense can do when you do execute. We saw a little bit of a short passing game. We've seen Jalen Thornton running the ball. We've seen Austin Haley running the ball.
Or the track after the game.
So it's 1st and 10 left to right for Singer, and this is going to be the victory formation for the Indians from their own 45-yard line. 1 snap. There's probably going to be it. 27 seconds on the clock. I don't think they have to snap it again.
I don't think they do either.
So we're just about ready for our Ann's Realty Group postgame show. We'll have highlights. We'll have stats. And I don't know if Caroline might want to talk to Coach Jay about this one or not. I mean, it's a different feel about this game. I think talking to Coach Jay might be okay tonight. You just, sometimes there's games you just don't want to talk to the head coach, and then there's nights like this where maybe it's 35-8, but that's a 4A team. They're really, really good. Howe did some good things offensively. They played okay defensively as well tonight against a really good offensive football team.
I feel weird saying this, but it's a good feeling loss.
It's strange.
It's 35-8 was or 35-8 was the final score, but it's just it has a weird feeling to it.
So the players are walking by each other. There's no handshakes tonight. They just walk by and just kind of wave at each other. It's such an odd situation. I'm ready for COVID to end. Are you? Come on, let's end this thing. This is strange. They're just walking by and waving at each other. They've been tackling each other all night long.
I don't want
but you have to wave at each other at the 50. Come on,
that's what I'm saying.
It's odd. It's just odd. So the Bulldogs will come over to the near side, and Singer's about to face their band and their crowd and have their school song, fight song, and all of that. And Howe's about to do the same thing. Jordan Jones takes his helmet off, the homecoming king of 2020. Congratulations to him. And Erin Ketching, the homecoming queen of 2020. Congratulations to her. And the Ketching family is a family of homecoming queens.
Absolutely.
So Howe with their school song, and they turn and face the band. And we'll let you listen to that. And now Sanger will turn and do the same thing to their home crowd and their fight song, their cheer song, or school song, I should say, and all of that. And the Howe Bulldogs very respectfully turn over there and face the Sanger Indians, and they pay respects to those that just defeated them 35-8 here at Bulldog Stadium to open the 2020 season. And it was a different feel tonight against a very good football team. Howe looked better. It was a better feel to tonight's game. It really was.
It was, and then now you've got a chance, as we said earlier, you get the bye week. And let me tell you, folks, it's not going to get any easier after tonight. I mean, because in 2 weeks you got Pottsboro. You got a road to the boroughs, Pottsboro, and then you got Winsboro after that. So it's going to be you got some tough games ahead of you, but you saw some glimpses tonight. It looked good offensively. You got some kinks to work out, but it's offensively it's been the best night of the season so far.
Well, it's helped so much when you have Jalen Thornton into the game.
Absolutely.
You see what the effects he can do to your offense. It's totally different when you have a kid like that who can make things happen.
And that would be our MVP of the game tonight, right?
We have a legendary player of the game, our Legend Bank legendary player of the game, and I would think that would be Jalen Thornton tonight.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any question about that. So the coaching staff is talking to the players down on the field at about the 45-yard line, just north of midfield. Caroline, I think, may be headed down to talk to Coach Jay. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. But tonight's 35-8. Sanger wins this one. We'll have stats for you as soon as the Blizzard finishes that one up. He's right above us upstairs on the film deck. And I think I see smoke off the film deck going towards the north, and I think that's the pen and pencil of the Blizzard working on those stats to finish that thing up.
Especially at the end of the game when Bulldogs were trying to air it out.
You know, Austin Haley had a better night tonight. Obviously, it's so much easier when you aren't sacked 8 times or 7 times.
I know, yes.
You tend to have the game go a little slower in your head when you're not on your back. And that was a great job tonight by the offensive line. So you got to give kudos to them. And a much better performance all around by the Bulldogs.
Absolutely, the offensive line. And almost, you kind of wondered, I kind of thought with all the injuries and all the moving around that it would be just with the patchwork offensive line, it would be worse. But they played together real well and, again, developed a good game plan where he wasn't having to sit back there, for 5 or 6 seconds. They were able to get the ball out quickly to the receivers.
Anybody see Caroline?
That's what I was trying to find. I see her over there. She's on the right side.
Oh, okay. Hats off to Kevin Wilson, superintendent of Howe ISD. I was here early working on some audio and getting things ready for this first opening night. And, boy, he was here early, and he was taping down the blue tape on all the bleachers. He was driving stakes into the ground on the far side, putting netting up. I mean, that guy was working his tail off. He's not one of these sit around and
delegate
delegate, oh, you go do this. Kevin Wilson is one of those guys. If he wants to do it, he's going to do it, and he's not. He was working a lot.
That's the leader you want. You want to have someone out there digging the ditches with you.
Okay, well, I think we're going to go upstairs and talk to the Blizzard because I think he has stats ready for us. So take it over, Blake.
All right, here we go. Rylan Smart for the Sanger Indians played quarterback tonight, was 11 of 17, 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. Talon Wellborn, 15 carries, 115 yards.
Hey, I tell you what, let's stop for a second. He had 115 yards?
Yeah.
That's by far the least he's had this year in a game, right?
Yeah, because he's averaging 186 a game in 2 games so far, so 115
Hey,
would
that's
be.
a
win.
That's a win.
He did have 3 touchdowns.
That's true, but that's true. Okay.
Zach Shepard showed off on the screen passes for Sanger tonight. 5 catches, 126 yards.
Wow.
And a touchdown. And Tarrant, 2 catches, 73 yards and a touchdown. They were led on defense by Creed Carter, 13 tackles, and Carson Stamper, 10 tackles. Kyle Watts, 7 tackles and an interception tonight. Now we'll jump into the Bulldogs stats. Austin Haley was 10 of 16 for 96 yards, a touchdown, an interception, and a fumble. Jalen had 5 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown. He added 17 carries for 75 yards. Carson Daniels, 10 carries for 36 yards. Colby Taylor, 2 catches for 9 yards. Landon Duty, 1 catch for 6 yards. On defense, Austin Haley led the Bulldogs in tackles with 7. Jordan added 2 and a fumble recovery. Bryce Crosby, 5. Carson, 4 with a pass deflection as well. Jordan Troxtel forced a fumble and recovered it. Dakota Harrington had a sack. Cooper Jones, 3 tackles and a sack, and a big 4th down stop for the Bulldogs tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, the thing that stood out to me, Austin Haley led Howe in tackles with 8.
Wow, yeah.
He's an athlete. I mean,
really
you know,
is.
if you don't know, the young man is a phenomenal baseball player. He's a phenomenal basketball player. He was a freshman starting point guard last year on varsity. I mean, the kid is just an absolute phenomenal athlete. So it shouldn't surprise me that he led the Howe in tackles tonight with 8. But, you know, he hasn't played defense all year. This is the first game he's got into in defense. And what does he do? He leads the team in tackles.
And he was doing it with, you know, he had cramps. I think he tweaked an ankle at one point. Yeah, he was doing it all on there. You know, I think about defensively. I was thinking about him when here we'll go to Caroline.
Well, I think she's trying to corral. Go ahead.
I said defensively, I was thinking about when he played basketball. He was one of the guys who always led the team in charges.
I think Caroline has got Coach Jay.
I had to chase after him, but that's okay. Coach Jay, obviously not the score we wanted, but this tonight seemed just like a different team. There was something in the atmosphere. What do you think about that?
I think the kids are starting to get confidence. You know, we're getting better each week. We still got things we need to work on, but we're getting better each week. A lot of guys got thrown to different positions last minute. You know, Joey Hama was going to start for us at safety tonight, and then he had a head injury or a headache, and he couldn't play, so we kind of had to maneuver some things around, and the kids responded to it well. You know, defensively, I thought we played well. We got to tackle a little better. You know, that kid was tough to tackle tonight. Secondary played well. We had one blown coverage, and the kid knew exactly what he did wrong as soon as it happened. Offensively, we just got to finish. You know, we're starting drives. We move the ball consistently, and then we stall ourselves out with a penalty here or a missed assignment there. But they're a good team, and we just got to keep getting better each week. I'm proud of their effort, and we just got to get better. The bye week's going to help us to hopefully get healthy. You know, you looked on the sidelines. We had a lot of kids that are injured. You know, we haven't had our full team all season long. So hopefully, you know, the bye week will help us a little bit.
Hey, ask him about Austin Haley leading the team in tackles tonight, and that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, so your quarterback, Austin Haley, leads the team in tackles. Just an awesome player to play both sides.
Yeah, Austin did a great job tonight for us. You know, beginning of the year, we planned on not playing him 2 ways as much, but he's just a good football player and a great kid. And, you know, after the first 2 games, we knew we had to put him on the field, and he responded well, learned everything real quick, and you know, he's going to play for us. He's a good kid, and he did a great job tonight. You know.
Thanks, Coach Jay. Have a good weekend. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Jay, and we are now into the Ann's Realty Group post-game show. We've had stats. We'll have highlights here in a moment. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have highlights.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
Get to B-Dubs on Thursdays for buy one, get one free boneless wings. Or as we like to say, 100% more wings. That's right. When you buy boneless wings on Thursdays, you get the same amount of wings for $0.00. Basically, the second order is 100% off. So get here for buy one, get one free boneless wings on Boneless Thursdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one, get one of equal value free. Dine in at participating locations. Takeouts limited and may vary by location. Size exclusions may apply while supplies last. Limit 1 offer per customer. Not valid with any other coupon.
You're listening to the Ann's Realty Group post-game show.
Welcome back. We are in the Ann's Realty Group post-game show. 35-8 was the final tonight. Sanger, the 4A school, over the Bulldogs, and Howe tried to hang as best as they can. Howe moves to 0-3. Sanger moves to 3-0 on the season. Howe's going to have a week off to try to get some of those kids healthy. They've got a lot on the sidelines, as Coach Jay mentioned, a lot of kids needing to get healthy. So let's recap this game for you. The Sanger Indians started in the first quarter by winning the coin toss, and they quickly took the ball down the field all the way down to the 10-yard line. On the 7th play of the drive, it was Cooper Jones who turned the ball over for Howe as he made a great tackle on the right edge to turn Sanger away on 4th down. That gave Howe the ball for the first time, but they had to punt it away. Sanger took it with 7:18 left to go in the first quarter at their own 40-yard line, drove 9 plays, 40 yards, and capped it off with this 6-yard touchdown by Welborn.
And a shotgun, he's going to hand off to Welborn right side, and he is pushing his way through. And is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Sanger, for the first time tonight.
That left Welborn 53 on the clock in the first, and that gave Howe the ball after a 7-0 lead by Sanger. They took it at their own 29-yard line and went all the way down the field to the 22. 17 plays for Howe on that drive. However, they could not capitalize and turned the ball over on downs. Sanger took it with 9:18 left to go in the second quarter and only went 2 plays to score. Actually, only took them 2 plays to go 78 yards, and they scored on a 65-yard touchdown from Smart to Terrell.
Smart one to throw. Deep ball wide open. Caught it at the 35. Strolling into the end zone is Dewey
Terrell scored on that one. It was 14-0 with 8:41 left to go in the second quarter. And Howe took the ball at the 49-yard line but had to punt it away. Sanger took it with 6:03 left to go in the second at their own 30-yard line, drove 8 plays, 70 yards, capped it off with a 2-yard touchdown by Welborn, and here it is.
Maybe the 2. Got a 5-yard gain there. Here's Smart, handoff, Welborn, and he bowls over. Almost goes untouched. He just kind of puts his left.
And he put his left thigh right on a linebacker and moved him out of the way with his left thigh. And that made the score 21-0 with 3:18 left to go in the second. Howe took the ball at their own 40-yard line and drove about 4 plays, I think it was, before snap went through Haley's hands, and that turned the ball over to Sanger in great field position at Howe's 35-yard line. It only took them 2 plays to score to go the 35 yards, and 27 of it happened on this play.
Back 3 steps, sets up a screen to Shepard, middle of the field. Chased down by Carson Daniels, but he's not going to be able to catch it. Shepard's too fast, and he scores right there.
That made it 28-0, and we roll into the half because Howe got it. I take it back. Howe had just finished out the half right there. I mismarked that. So let's go into the second half. Howe takes the ball first, and they go 4 plays and punt. They give it to Sanger at their Howe 21-yard line. It only took them 4 plays to score, and it was guess who?
Straight up the middle, 2 yards. It's pretty easy for him, and he's in. Touchdown, Sanger. They add to the lead.
And him is Welborn. That was his 3rd touchdown of the game, 35-0 after the Ortega successful PAT. He was successful on all of them. 8:05 left to go in the third quarter when Howe took the ball at their own 40-yard line, but they turned it over on downs after 7 plays. That was kind of the theme tonight for Howe. They kept it a long time, did some good things with it, but couldn't capitalize. So Sanger took the ball at the 30-yard line, but Cooper Jones recovered a fumble. And that was Jordan Jones, actually. And that gave it back to Howe. Howe had to punt it away, gave it back to Sanger. Sanger had a fumble. Howe got it again. And let's see, Howe took it all the way down to the 32-yard line on 11 plays, but Haley threw an interception. He was trying to hit McNutt in the end zone, but it came up a yard short and was picked off at the 1. That gave Sanger the ball at the 1-yard line, and things don't really go well at the 1-yard line sometimes.
So here comes Sanger. They're going to be with their toes in the end zone as the ball's at the 1-yard line. Is Brian Strong still in the game at quarterback? No, it's a new quarterback, and it gets away from him, and it may have gone out of the end zone.
Howe came up with it, and it ended up being a safety, and Howe got on the scoreboard for the first time. That made it 35-2 with 56 seconds left to go in the game. And then Howe got the ball at their own 35-yard line, and lightning struck.
Receivers near side. One is Thornton, one is Elo. And I believe it's Caleb McNutt down at the bottom. Colby Taylor split out wide to the top. Haley wants to throw. Left side looking for Jalen Thornton. Caught it at the 30. Spins out of a tackle. Here he goes to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Kiss him goodbye. The Bulldogs are on the board at home for homecoming.
35-8 after that one. And that turned out to be our final score on the opening night at Bulldog Stadium. It's homecoming. The train went by tonight near halftime, as it always does. It's familiar home. And that caps off this 9-11 homecoming game against Sanger here at Bulldog Stadium. So we're going to wrap it up. We want to say thanks to Justin White, our color analyst, Caroline Slauson on the sidelines, Jake Roberts, our technician, intern. I guess he's running the highlights and doing a great job, and really appreciate that. Carson Grogan, who's our engineer, and the Blizzard, Blake Burnett, on stats. We've got a great crew right here in Howe, Texas, and we appreciate you listening. Appreciate everybody who's been a part of this one. I'm Monty Walker, and we will see you in 2 weeks in Pottsboro. So long, everybody.